Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk.
Good evening, we're listening, watching from around the world on the Eastern Caribbean. Welcome to another edition of the Make We Talk program. We're going to start a little bit early. Tonight we're going to have with us Senator Lambert Brown, Wilfred Rattigan, and one of our students, Miss P, will be coming on. But before we go all to that, we're going to start the program a bit early because it has been a busy day in the land of wood and no water. A very busy day where you have people from all walks of life. And ministers of government come out to speak about what is going on in the Jamaican space. Casey, can you lock your door for me, please, buddy? Yes. So, we're going to speak about that. This afternoon program, I can start with an opening commentary. It is very amazing, or I shouldn't say amazing. It's very funny, in a sense, that the only time we get a big uproar in our country is when something drastic happens to the people of the Vumvavon and the Vumvavin. Now, I'm not saying the nurse or that student who died at UTEC is a member of the political elites of our country. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. How many more of our women must be beaten in this country? How many more of our daughters must be murdered in this country? George Wright came out. It's alleged it's him who beat a female. You hear nothing from the female members of parliament. And I must say thanks to Mr. Andre Stevenson, who gave us the live coverage today. Andre, I lift my hat to you, my friend. Thank you so much. And Andre's live feed from National Hero Circle, a lady said something that have my ears propped up. The lady said that this is all politics. Why you see Minister Babsy Grange and Tufton and Juliet Cuthbert de Flynn out there. The lady went on to say that no one spoke out about what Mr. Wright allegedly did. Nobody spoke out about it. And because no one spoke out about it, other men in our country think it's a norm for them to go around and beat women. And I sit there and I listen to the lady, and I think the lady is correct. For those who make laws in our country, who sit in the parliament, and there is no example for them, it begs to ask the question, what sort of nation are we running? And the lady went on to speak some more. And the more the lady speaks, the more it draws my attention. Because no one comes out and speaks about the UTEC student. Babsy Grange didn't do so. Is it because it's a political error? They came out to speak because they think it is a right for them to come out and speak. Because it's a political error. Politics is in the air. So they come out and they speak. Because they're looking vote. And they're using the beating of that nurse as a political football. And it is wrong. It is wrong for them to do so. And that is why tonight, as all Jamaicans and women across the world and Jamaicans in the diaspora must call a spade a spade. Why didn't Babsy Grange came out and said that from the beginning that they plan to make the sex register public? Why did you have to do it, Miss Grange, on a sad moment in our nation history? One young lady has been murdered from UTEC. One of our healthcare workers have been beaten by an affiliate of the Jamaica Labour Party. someone who you see pictures going around with the Prime Minister and other people. And that gentleman is in the video. It is said that it's him. I can't prove it is him, but that's what I'm being told. So it begs to ask the question, what sort of nation are we living in? For those who believe that they must use other persons' hurt to gain political mileage in this country, it's a shame and disgrace. And when I heard Babsy Grange this afternoon or today talking that they're going to make the sex register public, they're going to review legislations, why couldn't you all do so from a long time ago? On this same platform here, I've been speaking, and I said it some time ago, how many more of our children must be murdered in this country? How many more of our women must be beaten in this country before the high-ups in our society who supposed to do the laws or protect the law or, preside over the laws in this country? How many more? My fellow Jamaicans, it begs to ask questions time and time again. Is this a nation of law or a nation of lawlessness? A sitting member of parliament, it's alleged it's him, was seen in a viral video beating a woman left, right, and center. And what the politician did. Jamaicans have short-term memories, you know. What they did was to put back the man in parliament, accept him back in the Jamaica Labour Party. Because, of course, it's the people of the constituency that put him there. But I believe that gentleman should not be on the ballot for the next general election. That's my firm belief. And so, this evening, it is now 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock in Jamaica. We, the people, must stand up. We, the people, must send a clear message to the government of the day. How long must we wait for them to make the sex register public in this country? We must send a clear message that we will not stand by anymore. That we, the people, will not stand by anymore. How many murders must happen in this country? It's always a 9-day wonder. But we must stand up and say to them, enough is enough. No more of our children, no more of our women will be brutally murdered in this country. No more of our females will be beaten by the so-called people of the Vumvavon, the Vumvaveen. By those who are of the effluence of society. What more must we suffer in this country? And it seems as if these politicians come up with it only when it suits them to come out, they will come out. I never hear the junior minister and the Minister of National Insecurity and Injustice, Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, condemn the 9-year-old that was brutally murdered in this country. I never hear that. But you know why these politicians comes out today? the nurses and the nurses and teachers and policemen in this country make up the largest voters of the two political parties in this country. And so that is why they came out today. They come out in the solidarity of the nurses. They did not. There was a viral photograph going around on social media with the Prime Minister. One moment for me, please. Let me take this call from Mr. Rattigan. One moment, please. One moment, please.
The One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and its global supporters cordially invite Jamaicans abroad and abroad to its inaugural reconnection on June 21st, 2025 at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston, Jamaica. Bring your entire family for a day of food, fun, entertainment, and information. Get an understanding of the Constitution and the skills necessary to exercise your rights and your civic responsibilities as Jamaican citizens. You can't afford to miss this inaugural Reconnection Rally, June 21st in Kingston. Tune in for further information and updates to Reason with Rattigan on YouTube and reggaeglobalradio.com, Saturdays at 3 p.m.
Welcome back to the program. I was just speaking to our good friend Wilfred Rattigan. It's not because they care about what happened to the nurse. It's because it's a political year. Political re-election is in the air. And Christopher Tufton did a PR stunt because they know that the nurses and the security forces in this country make up majority of the vote on election day. So they're coming out as a political stunt to say that they are in favor of the nurse that was brutally beaten by a friend of the Jamaica Labour Party. Yes. And I dare anyone to come out and say nothing, no, sir. A friend of the Jamaica Labour Party. And so, my fellow Jamaicans, we must send a clear and decisive message to this government and to other government in the making that we will never, ever surrender or stand idly by and allow this to continue in this country. No more. No more beating of our women. No more murdering of our children. It is full time that the government of the day make the sex register public in this country. It doesn't matter who is on that register. It doesn't matter who from the vum of society is on that sex register. The time is now that we must demand accountability. That we must send a clear message when the time is right. That we will never, ever allow this to happen in this country anymore. I want to play a video for you of what happened today. I want you to watch this video here.
Justice! We want justice! When we want justice! We want justice! When? No! When? Justice! When? No! We want justice! When? No! We want justice! When? No!
Alright, so we are here at the University Hospital in West Indies giving full support to our nurses. The truth is, any act of violence against an individual must be condemned. But our nurses are essential workers. They are out on the street day and night, and justice must take its course in this instance. We are supporting the victim, but we want to send a clear message, which is why the nurses are here, which is why I'm here.
You saw what Dr. Tufton is saying there. Then I want you to listen to what Babsy Grange is saying. Let me get this thing over here and make you listen to what Babsy Grange is saying. I hope I'm playing the right thing here now. Because I think majority of these things are. I want you to listen to this here. Flipping, I get a famous radio station. Listen to this.
This administration
Hold on, here we go.
will review the law governing access. This administration will review the law governing access to the country's sex offenders registry. That's the word from Gender Minister Olivia Babsy-Grange. Minister Grange made the announcement on Monday as she joined scores of Jamaicans who took to the streets of the corporate area protesting violence against women and girls.
We're going to look into the act that governs the sex offenders. I remember when we were debating in Parliament about the legislation, there were those advocates who said that we must protect the rights of the offenders, although they are offenders. And therefore the registry was not made public, but the information can be accessed. But the ordinary woman and the little girl and the family do not understand the bureaucracy. They do not understand how to access these things. And so we have to make the information more available.
Scores of nurses, other medical professionals, and advocacy groups and university students turned out on Monday to join the protest. The protesters first gathered at the University Hospital of the West Indies, where a nurse who was recently brutally assaulted is employed. The groups then met up on East Street in the vicinity of Hero Circle, where they marched and chanted for justice.
We want justice! We want justice!
Has called for an end to violence against women and girls.
Today, I stand here with the Minister of Health. Today, I stand here with the Minister of State and the Minister of National Security. Today, I stand here with representatives from the opposition. And I'm saying to you, it's not about politics. And no one must destroy the hardship that has women and the violence that they are facing. We must get them. And today, we are here to show our support for the nurses and to show our support for women who are being abused and for girls who are being abused and who are being raped and being killed.
Olivia.
Here you have it. Olivia Babsy-Grange is saying, and she's the Minister of Gender. And she's saying that they're standing up for the nurses. It's not a political thing. Minister Grange, you can fool the people some of the time, not all the time, you know, Minister. And it's time for you to stop this nonsense. It's time for you all, you and Dr. Tufton, to stop this PR stupidness. And you and Juliet Cuthbert de Flynn. It's time for you to stop it. Because as far as I'm concerned, you people went out there for one thing and one thing only, to gain political mileage in this country. Good night to you, Pastor. How are you doing?
Good evening, Sir Jeffrey. I just need 3 minutes because I'm about to teach Bible study, so I can't stay long. But I just want to say I'm in agreement with you, and they turned this into a political campaign to try to win the hearts and the mind of the women that are hurting in Jamaica. A UE student was kidnapped on a ride share, and her body was found this week. I mean, the remains was found this week, but yet they have not. They should have gone to UE and stand with those. If they really were protesting for violence against women, they should have gone to UE. They should have made mention of the two little girls that was their innocence was taken. They should have made reference to the other young lady who was the 9-year-old who was innocence was taken and she was unalive. So you see, they play politics, the PR. It's a shame This is a cold-hearted government, no empathy, no sympathy, and they're turning this into we're standing with the nurse. What about the other women in Jamaica and children who have been, you know, beaten, abused, raped, molested, killed, unalive? We don't hear them saying nothing today, but they just focusing on the nurse. You know, God bless healthcare workers. We need them, and the nurse play a prominent role in society. But like you said, they see the voting bloc or that coalition of voters that they want to win the hearts. Overtime pay, they need to pay them their back pay. They need to increase their wages. If they really want to stand with nurses, that's what they should have done. So thank you so much. And yeah, thank you so much. I'm going to listen to start my Bible study. Blessings. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
I apologize to everyone about that in the background there. You know, when the mic was on. I do apologize about that. We have with us joining us now my good friend Wilfred Rattigan. As soon as he's ready, he's going to put on his camera. Will, as soon as you can put on your camera, my friend. It is. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, man. It is clearly a political stunt. No one went up to University of the West Indies to stand with those students up there. And I must lift my hat to Dr. Kevin Brown, the head of UE, somebody who I know very well, somebody who comes on this program many times. I was trying to get a hold of him this seemed to come on, but I didn't get a hold of him at all. Why didn't they say that? Why didn't they go up there and stand with a student of UE? As I said before, it is the largest block of voters in this country, the nurses. And that is why both Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, who is the junior minister in the Ministry of National Insecurity, and Jamaica's world-class Minister of Health, the man who loves to do PR stunt, and along with Olivia Babsy Grange, the woman who loves to go to a barnyard, to jump Punima, and don't you trouble Zion. Why didn't they go up to UE and stand with those students at UE? Because the University of West Indies, the University of Technology student can't vote. That is why they didn't go up there. This is a political football. A political, as what the man in the United States would say, political witch hunt. Not a witch hunt, it's a political football, what they did, what they're doing. Oh, let me see something here again.
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says he's in close dialogue with the family of the nurse who was attacked.
I have been following the case, starting with a discussion with her husband shortly after the incident took place, with a long talk with him. And we are having a discussion with the clinical team at the HWI. Nurse facing who was a worker at the HWI would get the best possible care, and she has been. It's a very traumatic experience. She not only needs clinical support, but she needs psychological support, and that is ongoing. So I'm in touch with the family to be her husband.
Meanwhile, opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, says violence against women in 2025 is intolerable.
It is with disbelief that we have to make the speech in 2025. It cannot, however, match the disbelief when I saw the video of the brutal attack on Nurse Facing. I still cannot believe that in 2025, we have to stand here protesting against violence against women. We're supposed to be a civilized society. A civilized society is one that looks out for its most vulnerable. And it is unfortunate that our women today are still subjected to violence of this sort of nature.
Dr. Alfred Dawes.
How many more? How many more of our women must be murdered in this country? How many more of our children must be murdered in this country? How many more of our women must be beaten in this country by people who are affiliated with the Jamaica Labour Party? How many more? How many of our women must be beaten in this country are the security forces, or by their so-called man they have at the house. How many more? And you come on this one that must leave jail, and Andrew alone. So you uphold with them beating women in this country. Because you don't have no woman. You don't have nobody at your house. I don't go down there. No. How many more must be beaten in this country? How many more must be murdered in this country? And when will they make the sex register public in this country? The Minister of Gender find it to announce this at the opportune time when the nation is mourning the loss of a 9-year-old. The nation is mourning the loss of a UTech student. And the nation is heart-rending, if there's such a word, is upset because of the beating of a healthcare worker by this woodland, this beast who call himself a man. And she sees fit now to come out and said that we're going to review the sex register. You know, let me not answer to nincompoops nor garbage from Riverton Dump. How many more? How many more must be murdered in this country? At 8 o'clock US time, 7 o'clock Jamaica time, we'll be joined by Senator Lambert Brown, who will be speaking to us on various issues that is facing our nation. And we'll be speaking about the editor himself, Idiot Amin. Idiot Amin. And you know who I call Idiot Amin already? Who call himself the new sheriff. Where all he does is go around and social media and mainstream media and lie to the nation. Who doesn't fit to be in the Parliament of Jamaica. Now I don't care if you want to come on this platform and take me. Because he's a notorious liar. And I will say this publicly again. Idiot Amin, a.k.a. Marlon Morgan, a.k.a. Idiot Amin, or a.k.a. the editor, is a notorious liar. He's a pathologically mendacious individual. Now I will not apologize to anybody about this. So if he's waiting an apology from me, he can wait until, as what my good friend Conrad O'Brien said, until what, 5 years or 50 years? Welcome to Wilfred Rattigan on the program. Wilfred, welcome to the program.
Yes, Jeffrey. Thank you for having me. Bless up all of the supporters and the listeners, all of the people who stand for justice and equality and good governance and transparency. All of you. Bless up, bless up, bless up. The struggle continues. And I heard you talking about the good editor, Senator Marlon Morgan, you know. And we have to show some respect. At least I have to show some respect to him. I'm going to call him by his right title and his name. Because, you know, as you would say sometimes, respect is due. Yeah. But nevertheless, you know, we have some issues with the way that he's been acting and things that he's been saying. And in the fullness of time, we have something called consequence management. Nothing illegal, nothing unlawful. Let me be absolutely clear about that. But You cannot go around and say things willy-nilly and think that, well, people going to just sit back and take them. He promised to sue you, Jeffrey. You and our dear friend, Conrad Fireman O'Brien. And I've challenged him because I heard the tape. I heard it and I said to him, because I know he's watching you now.
Oh, yes.
I said, Editor, Senator, if I feel clothes you wear yourself and I borrow the clothes them you have on, sue Jeffrey Tavares and Conrad O'Brien. And I gave him 10 days to sue now. And I don't hear nothing from him because it looked like all them do is talk and people get frightened. But not this crew. Not this crew. If you say you're going to sue us. Sue us. If you say that we have besmirched your good name and character in the public space, then go ahead and sue us. Because the one thing I can tell you, the first time you do it to us, and you may have done so already, we are going to sue you. First time you do it, we're going to sue you. And you know what happened? What happened is that, and I think you're on your way out now as being spokesperson.
Yes.
Because every time you open your mouth,
bunch of garbage.
You make it worse. You make it worse for the Prime Minister to sit there and say, yes, I have full faith and confidence in my spokesperson. Let me reveal something to you. Editor, Senator Marlon Morgan, Prime Minister doesn't have any confidence in you. Not after, you've been going around saying all kinds of things, but not after your performance on Portland Spice. not after that. Because you made a complete jackass out of yourself. You couldn't and you didn't answer the questions regarding crime rate and the death investigation and the other pools where they push bodies in to just claim that the crime rate is down. You couldn't answer that question. You couldn't answer the question about desalination plants. And believe me, there are many more questions you couldn't answer. And I'll tell you this. You made it abundantly worse for yourself because my dear friend here, my brother Jeffrey Tavares, asked you a question that I never thought about asking you. And I don't know if I can't speak for anybody else on the panel at that time, but I certainly didn't think about asking you. But in your arrogance and in stupidity, you said, in response to his question whether or not you read the manifesto, you said, read the manifesto. I edited the manifesto.
Hold on there for Marati. Do you have that video you can share with us?
All right, hold on there.
I'll give you a sharing privilege.
Give it to me there, brother. Give it to me there.
You send it to me, I give it to you.
Hold on. Yeah, man, this gentle.
As we stand by to hear what this. We also have another video to play. We have another audio to play for you too.
Yeah, here it is. Here it is.
Here we go. Have you read the manifesto of your party?
Have you read the manifesto, Jeffrey, was edited by me. Yes?
Play that one more time.
Play it over.
Hold on.
Have you read the manifesto of your party?
Have you read the manifesto, Jeffrey, was edited by me. Yes?
So I don't know how I'm going to leave that down because when I went through the manifesto, I even see some words inside there, at least one word that I never even knew such a word existed, and I consulted the dictionary, people have to walk with them things, but consulted the Webster's dictionary, and I didn't see that word. That word is not in the dictionary. So that word is a made-up word.
As you go along, you make up the words.
Yeah, there's a word he put in the manifesto because he said he edited it, so he's responsible for everything in there. Because if you edit something, it means you have read every word of that thing.
Yes.
You're going through some mistakes. I've never heard anybody say I edited something and I didn't know what was in there. I didn't know what I edited. No, you have read every word in there, right? So you shouldn't have any mistakes, and especially nowadays when you have you have apps that you can actually dump the stuff in it, and the apps will show you the mistakes and things like that. Well, this man claimed that he edited, and we're going to make him eat those words, because every week we're going to show you promises made, promises not kept. We're going to show you mistakes. We're going to show you where they try to mislead the public, and we're going to put him front and center and ask, how do you explain this, Mr. Editor?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. What happened here? Will, oh my God. I don't know what happened there. I think I did the wrong thing. I don't know if it's me who do it, but Will was taken out from the studio. Let me, oh, here he is. Sorry about that, man.
Are you doing it?
I was trying to take something up. I end up kicking you out. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right, go ahead.
So we're going to have fun with him, but at the same time, people, it's a serious topic, you know. The topic of editor, Senator Marlon Morgan. It's a serious topic because he's the spokesperson for the government. He's the one who goes around and talks about what the government is doing and how wonderful these people are, and that we are we call us PNP surrogates, PNP surrogates, right? And in fact, him called me, him said that I'm an antagonist, and I'm trying to bring the Andrew Holness-led government down. He said that me and the platform come reason with Rattigan. Mm-hmm. And people, we've been asking him to come and make a proclamation, you know, that like Stone Love, he stands alone. And we said to him, no, man, you don't have to stand alone. Come over here, and I will stand alone with you. And then we can do battle. We can talk about the issues. But he's found it to his liking to go elsewhere, all over the globe. But he will not come on the program because our people remember our number one rule about asking questions. You know the answer. And the questions that we are going to ask him, we know the answers. And the answers, they're not beneficial to the government. They're very detrimental. And he's going to come around here and he's going to look like a jackass. Mm-hmm. He's going to look like a bumbling idiot, because he will not be able to answer the questions, because the questions we're going to ask him, you know, remember I told you several ways to ask questions. One of them you can ask simply yes or no, and people try and deflect and run with it. Or you can load up the question with facts, and even then they'll still try and run with it. But they say, oh, we trick him. We ask him an open-ended question, but it wasn't really open-ended. And then he started criticizing his own government. He started saying that yes, there are things that they did that they shouldn't have done with the cars, the used cars things, and he brought that back to the fore. That story was dead, but he resurrected it. And I'm sure the Prime Minister, if he knows about it, he should call him in and say, listen, you talk too much, you know. When you go there, just make sure you stick to the script, you answer the questions and so on and so forth. But he's not gonna come around. He's not gonna come around here. So we've given up on him. So I don't know if Jeffrey, he promised to come on your program. He said he'll never come on my program. But oh, by the way, people, last week I invited him 3 or 4 times to come on the program. And I'm going to invite him 3 or 4 times this week. And so he's gonna have to just block me or come on and face the music. And I'm telling you right now, he cannot dance to the music that we're playing around here. Cannot.
Well, he has blocked me on his phone because I dare him. Yes, he blocked me. He totally blocked me from his phone.
You sure?
Yeah, man. He determined block me because he doesn't want to hear from me. And I told him that he wanted to bring a lawsuit. He know who my lawyer is. You know? I told him point blank, he knows who my lawyer is. I want to say good evening to Conrad O'Brien, our good friend, who I know is watching us now. Mr. Rattigan, before we go back to Idiot Amin, I'm calling him Idiot Amin, and I apologize to nobody.
I'm going to call him Editor Senator Marlon Morgan.
He doesn't fit to be a senator. Doesn't fit to be a senator.
Okay.
Before we go back to Idiot Amin, do you want to play an audio that was done today by Idiot Amin?
I beg your pardon?
Do you want to play the audio that was done by Idiot Amin today?
Oh, yeah, brother.
Yes. I want when I go back to the fact that the conversation we had in before with the nurses and people who were slain and so forth. But I want you all to listen to this clipping by my good friend Colonel O'Brien and the goodless senator, the world-class sheriff in town, saying that Wilfred Rattigan was promised something by Senator Peter Bunting. I want to listen to what this idiot is saying.
At law, who is doing some serious investigative work within the media space, now transformed into a serious investigative journalist. He has been doing ATIs. The latest one is this one on the proper disposal of medical waste. He said that the communique that he received from the Ministry of Health is to say they will be checking on it. Do you see that, Marlon, as an appropriate answer?
Well, let me say this. The policy of the Andrew Holness-led Jamaica Labour Party government is for medical waste and the biohazards to be disposed of in the prescribed and appropriate and designated manner. Yes? So that's my statement on that.
Oh, all right. Stay with me. Stay with me.
My brother, I'm not in an interrogation, you know.
No. Stay with me, Marlon. Stay with me, Marlon. Stay with me.
Let me just be very clear.
Yes.
Wilfred Rattigan, whatever post Peter Bunting may have.
No, we're not going there. We're not going there. Marlon, Madam Producer, I'm going to ask you to basically dismiss Marlon. Marlon, I am not going there with you. Marlon, we're talking about something that we're talking about something that impacting the health of the Jamaican people. The proper disposal of medical waste. The gentleman live in the United States. He doesn't have to do this, and I'm asking you if you see it appropriate. But Marlon, I'm almost at the end of the play. I'm almost at close of play. So we have to Madam Producer, let's finish with Marlon for today. Marlon, I can't continue anymore.
I just heard it now for the first time. It's clear now what he said. He said, I know what Peter Bunting promised me position as police commissioner, consul general, ambassador. I don't know what else he said, but I mean, listen, I'm not promising anybody in a lawsuit. Wink, wink.
Go on again.
Not promising anybody. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm just saying wink, wink.
Because I tell you something, you know, Will. This man believe that we must be afraid of him because according to him, he's the new sheriff in town.
What?
And we must be afraid of him. Go ahead.
I said, Leslie, say take off the cloak and stop hiding behind accountability. Say who you are campaigning for the PNP. Leslie, look in the mirror. Take a really, really close look in the mirror. And then what I want you to do is to ask yourself this question. Is there anything that Mr. Jeffrey Tavares and Mr. Rattigan have said that is not in adherence to truth? I want you to say that. I want you to, because listen, we can have a conversation because we're all humans and we make mistakes. But for me to stand up for the people of Jamaica, and for Mr. Jeffrey Tavares to stand up for the people of Jamaica, and for you, Leslie, to come and say, take off the cloak and stop hiding, blah, 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 campaigning for the PNP. We've been doing this for a long time, and guess what? We've always said we are doing it for the people of Jamaica to hold government accountable, because I can tell you this, should the PNP win, and there's good reason to believe that they will, but should they win, I am going to be sitting right here and holding the PNP accountable. And then what will you say then? Will you say I'm a JLP member? Is that it? What you must do, Leslie, is use your noggin. And that's what we're trying to teach people around here, to think, not to be emotional. It sounds based on what you're saying that you're a JLP member. I don't know if that's the case, but it sounds like that. Just the way you worded your statement. But I'll leave you with this. find something that we've said that is incorrect, and then let's have a discussion. Just like how we're finding things that they've said, they meaning the government, said and done, and it's not to the benefit of the Jamaican people. Promises, lots of promises unfulfilled. Leslie, let me turn your attention to the two manifestos, the 2016 and the 2020. Go read them. Read them, and then you can come back on the, you should come back on the line and then talk to us. All right. Now, Jeffrey, let me just say a quick thing here. You see, the question that was asked of him was whether or not he thought the response from the ministry was an appropriate response. And what was, and the response was, well, first of all, I asked the ministry, tell us whether or not the furnace or furnaces that you use to dispose biohazard waste, medical waste, if they're operable. And if they're not operable, how long have they been inoperable? And if they're inoperable, how are you disposing of the medical waste and the biohazard materials? That's what I asked. And they came back and they said, we will look in, and by the way, they didn't come back right away. The lady said also that she sent out an acknowledgement notice, but for some reason it didn't, there was a problem with her system. But it was only after I wrote to the entire cabinet and said, all of you ministers, you need to get up and you need to ask Minister Tufton about this situation, if it's true or not, because we need to know. It was only after I did that the ministry responded by saying, we will look into it. So Conrad asked the question now of the editor-senator, do you think that that was an appropriate response? And it's supposed to be yes or no. Do you think it's appropriate? Yes or no? But instead, he meandered. He started talking about all kinds of things. And then he ended up talking about me. But you know what's interesting? One of the things he said, he used the word people. Producer Joan, big up yourself. He used the word, and I hope a lot of you pay attention to it.
Yep.
He said, I'm not on the interrogation. Guess what's going on, people? We're teaching our people on a Saturday how to interview and interrogate people. In fact, we use that very word, interrogation. And he came out and used it. So, editor, senator, you have betrayed. You have betrayed how you spend your Saturdays. Or you have betrayed whether or not you listen to the program. We now know that we knew all along. But we now know that you're listening to the program. And we'll continue to ask you to listen, because when you listen, you learn.
Yes.
When you listen, you learn. And so that's all I have to tell you. You made some serious allegations about me today, and you made some serious allegations about Senator Peter Bunting. Right? And we have to look into it. We really have to look into it. Not promising anything. Not promise. But all I'm saying is that when I heard it, because I was actually listening to the program, because I just gotten off and I was listening, but I didn't hear the other. It's only now when you play it, I hear the part about police commissioner, CG, ambassador, because I heard him saying he don't know what position Peter Bunting promised. Yeah, and then I heard the other things being called out, and then but let's leave it where it is, man. Let's leave it there. These are good times.
Oh yes, Mr. Rattigan, something was just sent to my phone a while ago. But I guess who's coming on to us? I want you to read what it was sent to. I sent it to you.
Oh, you sent it to me? Okay.
Yes, I want you to read it. Don't read it to yourself, because we're gonna when the person comes, we're gonna talk to the person about that. But I want you to read that, because apparently there's something going on within the Senate of Jamaica. We're speaking to Wilfred Rattigan. We're gonna have our guests come on anytime now. Mr. Senator, the Honorable Lambert Brown. He is also a former, well, he's a member of the Norman Manley, is it trade union? I think, yes. He will be coming onto the program momentarily. But as we hear speaking, we're going to go back to the nurses and the doctors that was, well, the nurses that was beaten by that so-called man who is just a beast. And the way how members of the hierarchy of the Jamaica Labour Party consists of the Minister of Health, the Junior Minister, the Minister of National Insecurity, and Babsy Grange, take this thing to be one of a political football. Because they know that the nurses have the largest number of voting in this country, along with the security forces. They're coming out, so they're in solidarity with the nurses. They're not solidarity with the nurses. They're looking vote. They're looking vote, and that is why they came out. And the time has come for all of us to call a spade a spade. I want you to listen to some more of this that what went on today with Babsy Green. Listen to this.
Justice! We want justice! 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 Justice!
No, I have to say something.
Too long Jamaica feel the same way. All right, the minister of
Listen to me. Listen to me. We are here this morning to support the nurses.
Of course.
We are here to make a statement. We must end violence against women and our girls. And I want to tell you, this effort is about being united. It's not about JP, it's not about PNP. It's not about the color of your party. It's about one Jamaica. One Jamaica.
They find it at this time to say one Jamaica. I have with me on the line so labor right. Welcome to the program, sir.
Yes, sir. Let there. I don't want you correct that thing there because some people have missed it, you know. When you say social labor right, they may think say me a labor right. But them now understand so me mean SSL means social labor right. No PNP no in it. You know? So me no want them mix me up because me can't mix with them people there. So but you hear Marlon talk to them talk about Marsha Mima talk.
Oh, okay.
Yes, good. So but hear me now. The people them who, you know, themselves when thief and a run, you know, in ball out for thief too, you know. So nobody don't know who are the thieves. So you see like today now, the nurse them are demonstrate. The people who demonstrate to fix the system. Them come out in it too and I demonstrate. It not me. I wonder if you get the point from me, I make.
It makes no sense because they're part of the problem.
They are a part of the problem. So who then come out and demonstrate to know? We just don't make any sense. We said what Badger and Tufton must do. It's going to fix the damn thing once and for all because they have the power. Might as well them do like what the Prime Minister do. Don't come. Because the Prime Minister afraid of being booed, you know. That's why he'll not come out there today, you know. You remember saying run out no saying support the police?
Yes.
Him run go are you saying boy father funeral where he would never even invited? Cause him love to take picture about why him not come out today. You want me to tell you something? The man, the accused man. Me see man him in a photo, me don't know if them a friend, you hear sir? But him turn up with him take picture. Something in a something. Something in a and Marlon no. Cause him call up my name all the while. But Marlon must understand the Senate is somewhere for decent people. People who can make decisions, not for puppet, not for place where you get unsigned letter. Right? So if you must say what the boss say, you know how it go. The Senate gone to the dog, you know such Marlon is the worst person that ever appointed a senator in Jamaica. He is the worst. The Senate gone to nothing. We need decent people in the Senate. You must have independent mind. You must can disagree with who put you there if it's necessary to do so. But Marlon come if you agree with everything. This morning, him have a radio program. Him can't wait till him there when him come on to a field program. This morning him call Conrad again. And he want to behave like he is the host of the program and he start to call up my name through. Mr. That's the Prime Minister. Never hear the Prime Minister say anything. What Marlon should do is to say that Marsh is a liar. And he couldn't say that. The Prime Minister not say anything, but here you know. The Prime Minister don't need to say. The Prime Minister needs to do. That's why he has the power. That's why the people vote and make him have the power. Right? Yes. Yes.
I have my good friend on the program here, Wilfred Rattigan. But you don't want idiots and men to continue saying those things, man, and for you to say, I'll sue you.
Marlon?
Yes.
Marlon don't waste time sue me, but Marlon can't sue anybody if you call him liar.
Oh, he's a damn liar.
If Marlon tell a lie on a block of ice, the ice can't melt, you know. Marlon is just a liar and just going around making himself. If Marlon believe in popular night party, why him not try to run for a seat? If anybody would ever want him.
So Mash, I want to ask you this question though before we go, because we're gonna get ready to bring on our guest. I want to ask you this question though, based and I know what you're gonna ask that question too. Based on what is going on now within the health sector, and this man beat this nurse, and this student from UTech went missing now. They find her corpse. Then you know the 9-year-old murdered in this country. And Babsy Grange now say that they're gonna revisit the sex offender registry. Don't you think this is a
But listen, that's simple. That's simple. Them not say them are gonna do anything. She said visit them, I'm gonna visit it. Visit don't mean that you're going to do anything. It's only visit, they're going to visit it, right? They're not going to do anything because certain names may be involved and we know what will happen. So they are protecting something and protecting somebody. And every time you talk, you have the half with Marlon. Crime down by this person. Well, I little. When we want Marlon to come out one day and say crime down by 100%. Now wait till the day here, him and the police say that would be one of the most joyous days in my life. Here set down by 100% because one murder is too much. Yes.
We have evidence that crime is not done. My good friend,
listen to me. It's simple. It's simple for no say it not down. Right? Especially murder. At the 100 hard where the police kill and put it back on the crime figure and see where we are. Crime not.
Yeah, like we showed on the program this past Saturday, the murder rate that they're giving the public, it's false. That number is incorrect. The number they gave last year, incorrect. People, if you disbelieve me, go back and watch Reason with Rattigan this past Saturday, and you'll see where I show you a chart that came from JCF, where they have 7 categories where they hide dead bodies. They didn't mention one of the biggest categories, missing persons. They didn't mention that, but they mentioned another 7 categories where you have dead bodies and they move them into these categories. They don't put them in the murder column. And
that's true.
That's true. What we counted. Hold on, let me just tell the people, just as a reminder about the different categories where they put people in. They put people in. 1 second there. Give me a second there, Jeff. Wait, and some of the categories just mind-boggling. Don't make much sense, but that's what it is. They put it inside there, and then they just load up the bodies in there, and then then people not supposed to just believe what they've been fed, that the murder rate is down. But people look around and say, no, the murder rate is not down. Even if you subtract the extrajudicial killing, right? You're still going to have a problem. You're still going to have a problem. Give me a second, Jeffrey. Let me just find it, yeah. Because when I tell the people about if they haven't heard, and when I tell them about this thing here, they're going to be completely shocked. when I tell them. And by the way, all of you remember the gentleman who drove off a Spur Tree Hill.
Yes, Mr.
And then them claims say him find a tree and him going to hang himself, right? Yeah.
The man who drove our Spur Tree Hill, what's his name again?
He was in charge of the
I do remember.
Okay, listen to what Mr. Rattigan is saying.
All right.
Yeah. But listen, you see with this crime thing, and what there's a word. It's in the Oxford Dictionary. It's spelled TRICKNOLOGY.
Trichology.
Take that word. Technology.
Yeah.
Take
What
the
do you
word.
think?
Look it, just Google it quick.
Hold on, Mr.
And look at it.
Hold on, Mr. Marsh. Mr. Rattigan saying something. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, what they have here are the categories for those of you who haven't heard. This is where they're pushing the dead bodies. There's one category, a big category called death investigation. And the last time I checked, there are bodies inside there from 2016 that up to now them can't finish the investigation to tell you how the person died, right? But they have on that death investigation, they have some subcategories. They have homicide. They have, listen to this, body found. I don't know what that means. Body found. Then another one, decomposed body found. So I guess the first body, the first category, the body not decomposed yet. Then they have another one called skeletal remains found. And they can't figure out all those people. They can't figure that some of these people are murdered. And there's another one called undetermined death, which they put in inconclusive and unknown. Picture that. Then they have one called self-defense. That's the one that the man would drive off of the Spur Trail. Then you have suicide. No, they have self-defense, yeah. And then you have suicide, the man off a Spur Tree. Then you have non-crime, one that's called sudden death. What that mean? Sudden death. Then you have death by misadventure. And in death by misadventure, there's one category, one subcategory there, and it's called poison food. Poison food. So if somebody poisons you, that's not murder. You get put in that category there. Right?
Some Marsh, we have to run now, but this is why we're asking the question. Why can't they come on the program and explain to us if we're lying about all of these things?
Yeah.
Well, it might only show them up more. It might only show them more. But remember the word. Remember the word I spelled to you a while ago. Technology. Look at the meaning of that word, and you will see what the GLP doing. Again.
We're gonna. It's now 7:55. 5 minutes before 8 o'clock. 5 minutes before 7 o'clock in Jamaica. We're supposed to have our good friend Senator Lambert Brown to come on to the program tonight. As soon as we get him to come on, then we're gonna move along with the program. But we're gonna speak to, and we're supposed to have Miss P coming on with us too, because we're gonna speak to Senator Brown, and after that we go on to another program into another segment. We're here tonight to speak about what is going on in our country. We're not spreading any lies. We're not trying to bring down any government. Nor do we plan to bring down any government. That's not our nature. We don't do those things. And we don't tell anybody we're going to swim in the blood of Jamaicans to get to Jamaica House. We're not that type of person at all. All we're saying is that you promise us some things, and it is time for us to stop letting them take us for a fool, because we're no fool. We the people stand firm. We the people of this country must demand accountability. It doesn't matter where it comes from, but the two political parties must be truthful to the people of this country. Mr. Rattigan, go ahead, sir.
No, you know, what we need to do is just focus on what we're focusing on, and don't be distracted by, you know, these people who seek not truth. They seek to have us go astray from delivering the message to our people. And people, all we're saying is that think through these things carefully. Think through them carefully. And for those of you who would say, oh, you know, well, they're not criticizing the PNP. PNP is not in power. When they come in power, we'll We'll do the same thing that we're doing around here. We'll do the same thing. We'll hold them accountable. We'll hold them accountable. And in fact, we might even hold them more accountable because they're seeing all of this happening before our eyes. We're all witnesses to what's going on here. So when they come in power, they have to do better than this. I want to say better, not better in terms of crookedness, but better in terms of being accountable, taking care of the people, acting in a responsible and an ethical manner. So that's where we are.
Yes. Mr. Rattigan, I want you to take away the program for a bit. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of Senator Brown. So you continue talking to me. Get Senator Brown here.
People, this Saturday, I need you to tune in again, or even if you're doing it for the first time, I need you to come on board and listen to Reason with Rattigan. Because last week we showed some serious, we exposed some serious things going on in Jamaica. We exposed that there's a possibility of hazardous waste, biohazard, medical waste being dumped. We asked the question. We didn't accuse anybody. We asked, is this true? Because we heard that it's true. And we asked if it's true. But also remember, when we ask questions, we know the answers. But we asked. And we haven't gotten that response yet. And this is serious, serious business. We also talked about beach access. Something that the Prime Minister, with a stroke of a pen, could just end all this nonsense. So that all Jamaicans, PNP, JLP, UIC, NDM, Up Jamaica, whatever political persuasion, socially, religiously, or otherwise, you can use the beach. It's our birthright. And yet, hasn't been done. We get all of these platitudes with them talking about, oh yeah, every Jamaican should access the beaches. He didn't say all the beaches. We want all the beaches. And he didn't say it. And he can end this nonsense. He can end this logjam with the stroke of a pen, but he hasn't done it. You know why? Because some of his biggest supporters are the resort owners, are the hotel owners, are some of these people who have beachfront property. And he dare not approach them with a resolution to this vexing issue. Dare not. Dare not. I dare him to do that. Actually, it's a waste of time because he won't do it. He hasn't done it in 9 years. He's not going to do it now. And then we also talked about fertilizer. Moroccan fertilizer. Some of you remember I started this discussion back in 2022. And it was only last week that the Auditor General came out and tabled that report. Her report was tabled in Parliament. And if you have the time, folks, go ahead and read through that thing. It's a revelation. But it's not a complete revelation. You know why? Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Sorry to cut you, Mr. Rattigan. I have with me online Senator Lambert Brown, a member of the People's National Party, a senator in the Jamaican Senate, and also a trade unionist. Senator Brown, welcome to the program, sir.
Hi, thank you, Jeffrey. All of the still listeners. Hi, Ratty.
Yes, Brad Lambert. Big up yourself.
Yes, you too. Yes, you. Keep on the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Brown, welcome to the program, sir. Talk to us about this drill, this medical drill that Dr. Tufton went and bought, and also the good president of the Senate is having a problem tabling certain things in the Senate. So go ahead for me, sir.
Well, firstly, it wasn't purchased by Tufton, but was purchased on behalf of his ministry by the Southeast Regional Health Authority. And the information coming to me from a reliable source is that this is a drill necessary for neurosurgery. However, that drill is available on the market, same quality drill, for around 14 or less thousand US dollars. But the Jamaican government, through the Southeast Regional Health Authority, paid $170,000 for it. And I'm saying to them that this drill, we're not getting value for money, and that we could get several of that drill to serve different hospitals in Jamaica. And in fact, I'm being told that they bought about 3. One for the University Hospital, that will be for Sarah, and one for KPH at this inflated price. So the Jamaican people, because there are neurosurgeons around who use these drills, and in fact, the brother of the nephew of the chairman of Southeast Regional Health Authority is himself a neurosurgeon, and he said he bought the drill for much cheaper. I believe something like 10,000 US. So somebody or some company seems to have had a windfall at the expense of the Jamaican taxpayers. And I'm saying it's not about procurement, because in the health services, you are there's an exemption from strict procurement rules. But that does not mean that the Jamaican people must not get value for money. And so my questions, I tabled 11 questions to the president, which is required by the standing orders of the Senate, for him to approve. He told me on Friday that he was not approving the questions to be tabled on Friday in the Senate, because he wants to check if the information I am seeking is available in the public space. And I'm saying that information is not available in the public space, because my question asks, did the Southeast Regional Health Authority find out before they contract the person to buy the drill whether or not they had found out what is the indicative price? In other words, if you're going to buy a car, so you're going to buy a RAV4, you need to know what is the selling price of the RAV4 before you tell Ratty or Lambert, you can go and buy that car on my behalf. So I'm saying, did the Southeast Regional Health Authority ascertain the indicative price? I don't think they did. And if they did, they need to tell us what was it, because 170,000 US is not enough. Ratty may be interested in knowing that the question has to be answered. Did any of the companies that bid include shares, a company with shares, significant shares, owned by a Jamaica Labour Party member of parliament? And in fact, the question is, did that company win the bid?
But Senator, isn't that supposed to be a conflict of interest, sir?
Well, if you don't know who's in the company, it could be a conflict of interest. But equally, that person could have gotten a waiver from the parliament saying that he's allowed to enter into contract with the government of Jamaica. So I don't know. These are why the questions that I've asked are so important. But the government is choosing to try and suppress those questions so that they don't have to answer to the public, they don't have to be accountable, and that the country can determine whether or not the deal was transparent and above board. But I'm satisfied the Jamaican people did not get value for money.
But Senator Brown, and I'm going to have Mr. Rattigan come on in, but Senator Brown, the president of the Senate is answerable to the people of Jamaica, so not to his party.
No. Well, there's no mechanism for a senator to be answerable to the people. He doesn't face an election. His government, however, is answerable to the people.
Right.
But as you're seeing, his government is deadly afraid of calling an election which is due. So they are trying to find as many ways to provide answering to the people, answering the questions in Parliament, and answering whether or not the people have credibility within them through a general election.
I see wherein you send me something here and I'm reading from it. $27 million of taxpayers' money is spent on one single drill. Now tell me something now, Senator. Is it that the Senate President is saying that you as opposition senator must get an answer from them?
Well, he's trying to rely on a technicality. That's all you know. So he's hoping that a technicality, that if the information is available in the public space, then there's no need for the question to be answered in the Senate. He has a problem. That information I am seeking in those 11 questions are not available in the public space. So they have to answer it. And I expect the next time the Senate sits on the 30th of May, those questions will be tabled. And in 21 days, they will have to answer to the Jamaican people why you buy a drill for 27 million. Brand new drill, you know. And then you give a maintenance contract of $4 million more to the company. And so I've asked about that. If it's a new drill, should we carry some warranty?
Indeed. What I know.
Should we carry some warranty?
Go ahead.
So those are the issues that my questions are designed to bring out to the public, so the public can see what I suspect is another case of corruption, another scandal dogging this Andrew Holness government, where they just spend Jamaican taxpayers' money at will, and the people are shortchanged. And I put this in that big overspend on the drill against the background of a friend of mine, father having an heart attack, goes to a local hospital at 5 a.m. in the morning, get through at 9:30 p.m. that night, but cannot be admitted to hospital with the heart attack because there's no bed. And he's there for 2 more days in the corridors of the hospital, sitting in a chair with a heart attack because there's no bed. And not only that, the hospital said, because you're not formally admitted, we can't give you any food.
You know,
that's the. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
You know, Senator Brown, I can speak firsthand on that, you know. My father took sick from October of last year.
Yeah.
And he had also, this year, I think was last month, yes. He had also go to the hospital in Montego Bay. Moby told him they don't have any bed.
Yeah.
He went back to Salomon Hospital. And you know how we end up getting a bed for him? It's because we call some people of the Vumbova and the Vumbovine.
Yes.
And that's how we get a bed for him. So, you know.
I know. I have heard of some cases. I have had to intervene to assist, and it should not be Jeffrey, because of who you know that determine whether the taxpayers of Jamaica are able to get a bill. And I said 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, I was ill. I couldn't get a bed in the public hospital and in the private hospital, right? And I will tell you this, eventually I got a bed in a private hospital. But I said to Mark Golding when he came visiting me, Mark, when we get back to government, we need to make sure if it takes 5 years, you put in systems that no Jamaican citizen is ever turned away from a hospital because of a lack of bed. It is not a lack of money why we have no bed. It's a lack of will It's a lack of caring for our people. That is the problem. And Margot told me, yes, Lamy, I am committed to fixing that problem of no bed for Jamaican citizens.
I have with me now, Mr. Ratty. Going to ask some questions. Ratty, over to you now.
Yeah, Lamy.
That's fine.
Yeah, Lamy, you know, it's I have a whole heap of questions, and I have some comments.
That's right.
You can't hear me. You can't hear me. You can't hear me there, Fred?
Yeah.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
You hear me loud and clear. Okay. You know, you were talking about a while ago. Let me deal with the last point first. You were talking about the fact that there are not enough beds available in the hospital, and you related the story of a friend who went up there at 5 o'clock in the morning and was not taken care of until 9 at night. No, I couldn't let that pass me, because you know why? I just did an ETA today, last night about health tourism, because the government in its manifesto said they're going to promote health tourism, and that they're going to put some of that money to help some of the most in terms of
Jeff, I'm not hearing. Can you just repeat Ratty's question, Jeff? Because I'm not hearing.
You can't hear me?
I'm so clear, Jeff.
I think
Mic check.
I think you're using. Hold on, Ratty. I think you're using the speaker from the computer and not the mic itself.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah. One time, I'll get Kevin.
Yeah, we're speaking to Senator Lambert Brown, Jamaican senator, who was speaking to us about the medical drill. Senator Brown, as soon as Mr. Rattigan come back, my question to you though, Senator Brown, why is it that the people of our country are so quiet when it comes on to things like this? Huh?
Well, maybe they're doing what the people in Trinidad and Tobago did, waiting for the elections. But today, I was pleased to say I wore a black shirt in solidarity with the nurses and other health sector workers who were demonstrating in support and solidarity with the nurse who was brutally beaten by some well-connected person last week on her way to work, and he felt she shouldn't be driving past him. And the nurses at the University Hospital protest today. Nurses generally in Kingston protest. Nurses in Sablamar, in Port Antonio, and throughout the rest of the country. Mayplain, I believe, in St. Anne's, in the Northeast region, people were demonstrating today. So the voice of the people has slowly been awakened, been heard, but I believe in Trinidad, they're doing like Trinidad. They're waiting to kick out this government because they believe that this government has failed them.
You know, Senator, I'm going to shift a little bit from the medical drill to something here. You have a senator, well, the Jamaican have a senator in the Senate named Marlon Morgan. And all Mr. Morgan does, Mr. Brown, is go around and spew a whole bunch of lies. One of them is he keep on saying that the murder rate in the country going down. He keep on speaking about the People's National Party and the People's National Party that. When was the Senate go down into this report, sir?
Well, let's put it this way. The Jamaica Labour Party is desperate, and they put him in the Senate to try and be a top dog against the opposition, because every Friday the opposition scores and dominates the Senate. And Friday gone, even his own president had to ask him to apologize for making personal remarks about me, and the fact that I have a problem with one of my eyes. So he attacked me personally on Friday, for which he had to apologize. And I told him, sir, in 1962, somebody threw a stone and knocked out one of my eyes. I've lived a happy life and successful life in those 16 years. Be my guest if you want to attack me personally. But I'm going to make it clear that your government has outlived its usefulness and the people are tired of them. So I don't pay Morgan much attention. And you shouldn't either, because he has no impact and he influences nobody. You know, as somebody said, you'd be better off drinking syrup and eating chicken at OLO.
I don't know you heard about that one, Senator?
I know about everything. I know about everything.
Senator Brown, this medical drill here now, sir.
Yeah.
If you go to Parliament, go to the Senate come the 30th of
the 30th.
Yes. And you don't get an answer from the Senate President, what is your next course?
I don't like to cross bridges before I get there. But suffice it to say, we're not going to tolerate it. We're not going to tolerate a denial of the right of a senator to ask questions of government, especially since my questions are so written to compel them to admit some truth and to expose possible corruption, which may very well involve a member of parliament sitting on the government side.
Senator Brown, do you have any idea if there was a procurement done for them to get this drill, and who was the person?
Well, they say they follow the procurement rules, but as I pointed out, for medical services, the procurement rule is fairly relaxed. And so my question includes, when did you put out a request for invitation to tender or for bids to be made? In what newspaper did you put those requests out? What medium you used to put that request out? And who were those requests sent to, if not through the media? Because we know some things, but we're waiting for the answers to be given by them for us to reveal some other things. So it's you don't want to throw everything out. You want to ask some strategic questions that force them to say certain things, and then you can contradict them.
Hold on for me, Senator Brown, because I know Mr. Rattigan has some questions to ask you. Some very
fine. I'll get Ratty.
Yes. Ratty, are you ready for us? You get the mic fixed as yet? I think he's trying to get the mic. It's Mr. Brown. So just bear with us, please.
No, but that's fine. That's fine.
Let me go back to this again. The whole thing of this procurement here. Sarah. Well, the Minister of Health himself is saying that he doesn't see anything wrong in purchasing that drill. In other words, what I take from it, that he's saying that he doesn't see anything wrong in purchasing the drill at that amount of money.
Yeah, but let me put it this way. Very simple. Well, I like how you put it. In my view, there's nothing wrong in purchasing a drill. What is wrong is the amount of money you allow the supplier to charge you for a drill that could be obtained for significantly less. In other words, three companies bid on the drill, on the same drill. One bid for 14 million Jamaican dollars. One bill for 50 million Jamaican dollars. One bill for 27. If one could get it for 14,
Mic check.
Ignore the 50 million.
Yes.
But explain to me why you go to the 27.
Yes.
And you should tell me whether the 27 million bidder has any political connection.
Yes. Senator Brown,
And whether anybody in that company is a friend of the minister.
Okay. Senator Brown, I think Mr. Rattigan is ready first. Ratty, go ahead.
Mic check. You can hear me?
Much better.
Okay. We could just big up Kevin DJ. Stu in the house, always ready. Yeah, Kevin, big up yourself, sir. Thank you very much.
You hear him, Senator Brown?
Yes, he's bigging up Kevin.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, here's the thing, right? The government in its manifesto said that it's going to promote health tourism, and that it's going to use some of that money to help people who don't have access or ready access to medical service, particularly in the rural areas. Now we know that's a failure because the American government has left
Hold on for me, Ratty. Senator, you have a fan on, Senator?
Yeah, let me turn it off and see that make a difference.
Just mute. You can't leave the fan on.
No, if I mute, you won't hear him.
No. Ask Lammy for mute.
Oh.
Yes, go again.
Yeah, so the health tourism.
Fan is out of the way.
They said they're going to use that money and help poor people, particularly in the rural areas, right? No, I don't because the American government said that we're going to leave the travel advisory at a 3, and part of it being a 3 is because of medical care. Them said that, listen, they're telling their own people, we're not encouraging you, we're not advising you go to Jamaica. If you want to go, you go. In fact, they're saying we'd advise you not to go because if you get sick, you're probably dead because the medical system is so poor. But so you mentioned that that Mark Golding came to see and he said that he's committed to putting the thing in and that he's going to put in systems. I only hope that he has a plan already and that he doesn't have to wait to get in office and then start planning because that's going to be too late. People want him to go in and just start doing things immediately. So that's called for being proactive. But here is the thing I want to ask you. You mentioned that there are 3 drills purchased, right? Are you focused on
that's information.
Are you focused on only one or are you focused on all 3?
Well, I started out with 1 because that's the information I got first. I have included in my 11 questions for the minister to tell us how many drills were purchased over the last 3 years. So I'm not resting on 1. I'm giving them a chance to admit that more than 1 was purchased. And so, yes, I'm looking for other others. But let me respond to you. Firstly, what all the JLP says, I don't believe anything in their manifesto. They promised the Jamaican people in 2016 to allow us to sleep without doors and windows open and wake up and they still be alive. There are thousands who have died since then. They promised a big power plant which will reduce the incident of light bill, energy costs. Energy costs has almost doubled under them. I don't believe anything they say, especially when it comes to election time, because they told us we have a fixed election date. 9 years after. We have for impeachment. 9 years after. None of that is in place. So their words can't be counted. What Mark Golding promised was repeated recently by Alfred Das, who was the shadow spokesperson, and held at a town hall meeting in St. Anne's, where he spoke about his plans and the plans of the PNP. And I'm aware that there's a lot of pre-planning ready to take up government on the first day. So I just want to make that comment, Ratty, to say they're not waiting on the election is won. They're doing the planning from now. So they'll be ready on day 1.
Okay. Now, planning is one thing. Financing is another thing. Based on what you're seeing, there is based on, we've seen fraud, abuse, waste mismanagement. Now, the plan that the opposition party has for the health sector, do you have any idea at this point in time? Just at this point in time, do you have any idea how much it's going to cost and where the money is going to come from?
I don't have the costing offhand, but I can always get that from Alfred Dawes. Okay. And sometimes, Ratty, it's a win. It's not, Jamaica isn't short of money. When you can take up and pay 170,000 US for a drill, that costs anywhere like between 10 and 32,000 US. There's money there. And that could buy you several beds. Mm-hmm. And that is one project. Mm-hmm. There are other projects that they're going to spend on. And when you examine them, you will find that there's not value for money and that you could use the money to buy some of the same things they want and still have money to do many of the things that we need to do for the poor people of the country. Right? It's not a lack of. We don't have unlimited resources. But believe me, if we spend our money better, we can achieve much more for the people.
I'm looking at a report here, and it says that, going back to the 3 drills, and the report says that you were concerned about the purchase made by the Southeast Regional Health Authority. And that's why I ask if you're concerned about
February. From February, yeah. And in February, information it was 1 drill.
Okay.
1 drill for the Bustamante Children's Hospital. By the way, the Bustamante Children's Hospital does not have a CT scan. So that if my little granddaughter needs to go to Bustamante now, and she needs to do a CT scan, she has to be removed from that hospital to be taken elsewhere to get that CT scan. It's not there to buy a CT scan machine. Equally, they don't have the proper microscope for some of the neurosurgery. And that will make it easier and more, and allow for the doctors to operate more competently. These are things that need to be done. Right? Not to mention the fact that our hospitals, our theaters are breaking down. And you talk about money, Ratty, $6 billion is in this year's budget for Cornwall Regional, to repair Cornwall Regional, when the original estimate for Cornwall Regional was $2 billion. So this year alone budget, there's $6 billion for what started out as a $2 billion problem, but by now is a $26 billion problem. So it's not about finding the money, it's about using the money you have wisely.
Okay. The questions that you ask, and in the structure of the Senate, are those questions considered confidential, meaning that somebody who's not a part of government cannot get a hold of those questions?
Those questions I have made sure, consistent with the standing order, put an asterisk beside each question, which requires, therefore, that the minister must give me a written and an oral response, which is then available to the public. In other words, the minister has to read out that answer in Parliament, and it's carried on the radio and on television, and the newspaper will have access to it. So the public will have access. It's not an in-camera hearing. The public will have access to the answers and the follow-up questions that will flow from the answers given.
But the public cannot have access to the questions. They can have access only when the answer is provided. Am I correct?
Well, let me put it this way. I just saw a news report emanating from the People's National Party with the full 11 questions being out in the public. So today, our party issued a statement in which I am complaining about the failure of the president to allow those questions, and those 11 questions are not available to the public. There's no secrecy. It was just not tabled in the House in the formal sense, but the public, I release it to the public.
No, the reason why I ask you, is because I'm an ATI aficionado, and I would love to get.
I don't need it. You don't need it. I can give you those questions.
You can't give me them?
I can just WhatsApp you. I will WhatsApp them to Jeffrey right after.
Give me them. You're going to file the ATI tonight. Me I'll file the ATI.
Those questions are available. No, you don't waste your ink for the ATI. Those questions are available, and the answers will be available when they come.
Well, listen, I am banking on you that you're gonna send the questions to Jeffrey, because I'm going to file the ATIs tonight, because there are so many troubling things going on.
You could file the ATI about the questions. Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm gonna
do.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And they have to answer you on the ATI.
Exactly. There's more
That's
than one.
fine. I have no objection with that.
Okay, so Jeffrey, forward them to me, please, as quickly as you can, because fingers are itching. I need to get behind the keyboard.
As soon as we finish, the Senator will do that.
Yeah. I'll send them right away. No problem. Because I want the people to know the questions.
Yes, sir.
So they can anticipate the answers.
Lamy, I sent out an ATI in April about and it was asking how many furnaces we have that we use to burn medical waste, biohazard waste, and the questions flowed from that to, are they operable, and if they're not operable, how are we disposing of the waste? And I got the information from a very credible and reliable and well-placed source. So I'm asking them to provide this information, because I'm hearing that they're burying the medical waste. And if they're burying the medical waste, then that's a problem. So,
and that's a breach of environmental rules.
Exactly.
And health rules.
And so far, you know what they said to me? Because what I did was they sent it to the Ministry of Health and they didn't respond. So then I wrote to the entire cabinet and I said, listen, all of you better jump on the bandwagon and ask Mr. Tufton to provide answers. The same day I got a response from the Ministry of Health. I know what they said. We're looking into it. We're looking into it. How can you look at it? It's either they're working or they're not working. What do you mean you're looking into it?
It's called stalling, Ratty. It's called stalling. And the government is notorious for doing that. They are notorious for not honoring their agreements as well. But let me say this to you. Jeffrey?
Yes, sir.
The questions are in your WhatsApp.
Okay.
I just sent them to you so you could forward them to Ratty.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Before you go, because I know you have to go, and I know Ratty may have one more question for you. But I'll switch away from the medical drill now to the political heat that is going on in the atmosphere in Jamaica, wherein the Prime Minister cannot go beyond September before he can call the election.
He can. He can.
He can?
He can go to December. Okay. September is when it is due. Fully due. But the Constitution allows an extra 3 months. So, because he's so far behind, he may wish to use it. But the governments that take the country down to the wire usually get a political backsliding that they could have avoided. The quantity of the beating by going earlier. But put this way, if Mark Golden is going on political platform and singing the song, when the right time comes, someone got charged for corruption. I can understand why this government, with the Integrity Commission reporting 8 of them involved in being investigated for illicit enrichment, and which the Prime Minister himself is going to court to try and change the law on illicit enrichment. I can understand why Mark Golding sings that song and why people in the government is afraid of that reality. When the right time comes, someone will charge for corruption.
Senator Brown, let me ask you this question, though, Senator Brown. And I have been asked this question on my platform many, many times. Can we, the Jamaican people, rest assured that if the People's National Party should gain state power, the party of Michael Manley, the party of the late Custos of the parish of Westmoreland, James McLean Thompson, who helped to raise me, the party of
Jim Thompson.
Yes, Jim Thompson and Elita Thompson. The party of
Yeah.
Kenneth McNeil, the party of so many others. Can we, the people of this country, rest assured that if the People's National Party should gain state power, they will order forensic audit into the atmosphere of what was going on in Jamaica House and beyond?
Well, let's put it this way. Just last week, the Auditor General report about the corruption and the fertilizer. The PNP can't allow these things to pass and the Auditor General to go in vain. But I remind you of one other leader. Her name was Portia Simpson. Her name is Portia Lucretia Simpson. The last Minister of Labor, when the Minister of Labor went to prison for stealing farm workers' money, his permanent secretary accompanied him to prison as well. So, it is that spirit, a spirit in which the party believes that nobody is above the law. And that's why we've gone to court to challenge the needs, to challenge the constitutionality of state of emergency, to challenge the constitutionality of the DPP, who, by the way, I can report this, the Services Commission has now advertised, is advertising for her post. So she seems to be on her way out. So that's breaking news for you, I hope. So I make this point to you that the PNP recognizes that accountability is key. And this Prime Minister shouldn't even be on the ballot, which is uncertified statutory declaration. So, as a member of the PNP, I certainly be agitating for accountability and for action to be taken against those who are guilty of what Roger Clark used to call two-pussism. Two-foot pussism.
Yes. Mr. Rattigan? Unmute your mic, Ratty. Unmute your mic.
Yeah, Lami, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very loud and clear.
Good. Just I want to touch on two things. One is I want to go back to the medical waste, how they're disposing of medical waste, and then also I want to touch on the fertilizer bit, because you're aware that we started around our little corner here. We raised the fertilizer bit back in 2022.
Yes,
No, sorry, 2020. I think it's 2020. Yeah, 2020. We started raising the fertilizer. 2020, we started raising the fertilizer issue when we found out that the minister, Kamina Johnson-Smith, went to Morocco in 2016 and she cut the deal to sell out the people of the Western Sahara in their fight for autonomy against Morocco.
Autonomy, yeah.
And the fertilizer started flowing. I can't believe that I'm actually even saying this, that Jamaica sell out people. But we actually did. And so,
but this government is not to us for that. We not want to sell out people. In the 60s, we wanted to bring Rastas in dead or alive.
True.
And don't remember, Shira's birthday has been celebrated around now. Says, don't read them any Beatitudes. Don't measure them. Yeah. So this government is not to us for doing that. This government is not to us for banning books that talk about black people. The JLP government, that is. Right? So, no surprise that our brothers in Sarah was sold out.
But here's why I'm surprised, Lame, because since 1976, both parties, when they were in charge of government, supported the people of the Western Sahara. So it's not like the JLP never supported them. They supported them, and then in 2016 we did a turnaround, and we just said we're not going to do it. And so we sell them out for fertilizer. You know them. Them say them sell out rice
1,000 bags of free fertilizer that will come to Jamaica and sell to poor people and enrich themselves. Illicit enrichment again is the issue. But
if you get a chance, I want you to go back.
These people foreign policy, you can't rely on it. You can't rely on them to defend any foreign policy issue that is progressive. These are people who believe in self-respect and education.
If you get a chance, Lamy, I want you to go back and watch Reason with Rattigan this past Saturday. Watch the last 90 minutes of it. And if you can't do it, I want you to do that. I want you to tune in this, because what we show that the government is just a bunch of liars, because the documents that they gave me are not the same documents that they gave to the Auditor General, and they were about the same subject matter during the same time period, and two different sets of documents. In fact, what I did was
they did that to you with the Commonwealth intergovernment election.
Exactly.
So this is, these people are not to be trusted. Plain and simple. Look at a simple thing like the water quality. And they're not going to hide that from the KSMC, the water quality. In other words, if I go and buy a bun or a biscuit or a bread, I'm supposed to see on the bag, on the label, what are the ingredients in it. And no, water is life. And they're saying the local government authorities will not get a chance to see what is going into our pipes, because somebody said, hold on, something wrong with this water. The E. coli level is too high. Right? So this is a vindictive and a opaque government, a government lacking in transparency, shouldn't be trusted on any issue, and the people of Jamaica need that opportunity, which is going to come soon, to vote them out.
Let me say that the fertilizer issue, the farmers are deeply affected by it, and it's only now that these things are coming to light. And this Saturday, people, we're gonna go to part 2, and we're gonna show you some other things that will just startle you. You're gonna be.
I will be listening.
Yeah,
I will be listening.
No,
the truth is, all people need to know, and we want to thank you, Rattigan, Jeffrey, Lonesome, the Titans, all those people, some in the diaspora, most in the diaspora, who have been doing a wonderful job in educating our people. And you know what? Our people are listening.
Good.
Our people at home are listening to you guys.
Good. No, the dead bodies, let me get back to, not dead bodies, let me get back to the medical waste.
The body parts, yeah.
Yes. Have you heard about it? And if you have, what's going on in the Senate regarding that? Are there any inquiries regarding that issue?
None, because truth be told, the issue has just recently been surfaced.
Okay.
So we need to update ourselves on it, and then we can follow through and raise issues in the Senate and in the Parliament in general. And so it is a serious matter. I mean, I have a reason now to be close to the medical profession. And I can tell you, the long hours the doctors are working and not getting proper overtime pay. I can tell you about up to March of this year, a particular hospital on weekends, there's no doctor available for the medical ward. So if you come into that hospital and you're sick over the weekend, come Monday morning and you come back in there looking for a patient. Patient probably is in the morgue. We have a chronic situation. And the Minister of Government, Tufton, says, oh, we have a great health system. That's crazy. People are dying. I mean, let's look what happened recently. They have KPH resigned.
Yes.
I have two things I want
Competent doctor just get up and resign. There must be something behind it.
I have two things I want to run by you. One of them is this. And I'm going to ask you the question the way I originally wanted to ask you. I'm going to ask you a different way. Now, you've been in government. When I say government, meaning in parliament for quite some time. And you've seen a lot. Even before you got there, you've seen a lot. Now, have you ever seen anything, or did you ever imagine that a day would come when you'd have a prime minister with 28 bank books and he's been investigated by an anti-corruption body that
FID,
being
FID Financial Investigation.
The IC. Let's start with the IC. And then
he
refused to cooperate with them. And then it went over to FID. And now he's taking the IC to court. And he wants to repeal certain parts of the anti-corruption laws.
Illicit enrichment.
Did you ever in your wildest dreams ever thought that a day would come when you'd see something like this?
Absolutely no. And not from a prime minister who was leader of the opposition, refused to sit in the parliament with somebody who had built some shops to take poor people, Richard Hazan, to build some shops up in sprawling market, to take poor people out of the sun and to put them in a more comfortable position. And only said it was a dark day for the parliament and the prime minister should get rid of that minister of state. Well, now the shoe is on the other foot. It is the prime minister himself, and who has the obligation to get rid of himself by simply writing a letter to the GG saying what Bruce Golding did in 2011, I hereby resign. That's all I need to know. I hereby resign, because in no democratic country could a prime minister survive with that record.
I said I have two things, and that was one. Actually, Jeffrey, I have another two. One is the going back to the fertilizer. You know, the fertilizer is a major component of pipe bombs, and they found 310, I believe, in somewhere downtown Kingston. We haven't heard anything more, JCF, regarding about. We do know that a major component of pipe bombs is fertilizer. Yes. No, what happened is that we heard that there was a bomb scare up at the prime minister's residence, and people are asking me if he was up there making bombs, because they want to know if he received any fertilizer and he was there practicing or what. So I said to them, well, I don't know, but they said there was a bomb threat up there, and we haven't heard anything more about what the nature of that bomb scare was all about. So people are asking, inquiring minds. Go ahead.
Let me put it here, and Jeffrey, and to your listeners and viewers. Firstly, I don't know what happened there, but there was a report of a bomb scare, but no emergency unit.
Exactly.
The fire brigade, ambulances, which would be a critical part of attending a bomb scene. None of that took place. And people are, and it has left people to wonder what the hell was happening. But I say no more.
And he, as the
we don't know.
I think the JD put him up there.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know if bombs were being made in the res. We don't know if bombs were being made there.
I don't know, but I don't. Let me be frank. I don't think there's a bomb up there. I think there was an issue up there. And it needed to be covered up it needed to be covered up as to why police had to rush to the scene so suddenly. And somebody came up, oh, it's a bomb scare. But they forgot that it was a bomb scare. The fire brigade and the ambulances would have had to go there. Something happened. But you know what? I don't want to find out what exactly happened. Let the people imagine. And I don't think they're going to imagine vain things. The people are smart. I believe in the judgment of the people, that they know what's happening. You see, Ratty, I have been around my spouse for 46 years. We never fight and quarrel.
Congratulations.
I don't know what happened anywhere else. I can only speak for my household.
Hey, I could have tell you some things. I saw the first lady. She's not the first lady, by the way. The governor general's wife is the first lady. But I saw the speaker. I saw her giving out bun. Yeah, I saw her giving out bun, and I don't know what happened. I don't see anybody, reciprocating and giving her anything. So and then the prime minister was traveling, and so he wasn't. Well, look, let's just leave that alone. Let me go to this point. This point here.
Well, it's easy. Are you saying no, girl? Are you saying there's no cheese with the bun?
No cheese. No, Lammy. Let me ask you this is a serious question now. Lammy, I am going to
yes, but I'm serious. At Easter we give bun and cheese. Just bun without cheese, then people may want to question it.
Listen, Lammy. Listen, Lammy.
Let's start with you guys.
No, hold on, don't leave yet. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you a serious.
I'm with you.
Yeah, listen to this, right? No, SOEs, right? We know that the Constitutional Court ruled against all of them from 2019 to 2023. So all of them on
2018 to 2023. Yeah,
right. And even before that, there was a court that ruled in 2023. Court ruled that three individuals.
Everton Douglas case.
Right.
Russian.
Here's what we did round here now. We understood the nature of what was going on, and we know that for a state of emergency to be called under the Constitution, you need three things, right? You need a natural disaster, right? You need an incursion, right? Or the third one was what again, Jeffrey? Natural disaster, incursion,
natural disaster,
war. Yeah, war. You have natural disaster. War, right? No, none of those things happened.
Subversion.
They were just using it as a regular policing technique, right?
Policing technique. Yeah.
What we did round here was that in 2023, July 2023, you know what we did? We realized that the problem is the Prime Minister, the Minister of National Security, and the rest of them come below. But there is one person who could have stopped all of this, and that is the man who get almost $750 million last year for running office, the Governor General.
You're talking to GG.
Yes. So what we did, we wrote to the King, we wrote to King Charles, and we laid out our case. Buckingham Palace did respond to us, and they essentially said, well, look, it's a problem for Jamaica to handle, and we really don't want to get involved. But something tells me that a phone call came from Buckingham Palace to Jamaica, and I'm hoping that it did, but it doesn't matter. Fact of the matter is that the Governor General could have stopped this. Let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
Where does the opposition have a focus on, beyond the constitutional reform? Does the opposition have a focus on the Governor General and his activities in terms of, you can't deal with him here, but in terms of talking to his boss? What is the focus on the Governor General?
Well, the opposition, let me say, we have a long relationship between the subject, that is the people, and the crown. In 1865, a guy named Paul Bogle from St. Thomas wrote a letter to the Queen, complaining about the hardship the governor was imposing upon the people of Jamaica. And the Queen essentially said, you guys are too lazy. So I am not going to expect anything different from today's king other than contempt for the Jamaican people. But when it comes to the state of emergency, I can say this because there's a narrative which says the opposition did nothing. Keith Desmond St. Albin Knight, otherwise called KD Knight.
Or the sheriff.
The sheriff, Wentworth Skeffrey, Lambert Brown, and other opposition senators argued that there was no basis for a state of emergency. From 2018, we have been arguing the point. So, that in 2025, those arguments is now accepted by the courts. Plus what you guys have been doing, have exposed this government. I remember getting up in the Senate and saying to them, stop blaming the opposition for voting against the state of emergency. Go ahead and renew it if you want. And I was tempting them. And Ransford Graham, government senator, former attorney general, said to me on the floor of the Senate, for which Bruce Golden's daughter in the Senate repeated, that would be unconstitutional. And lo and behold, Andrew Holness and the security apparatus went and did exactly that. And the court said to them, you acted improperly. You acted contrary to the Constitution and the separation of powers. The PNP won again in the Constitutional Court in defense of the Jamaican people. As to the GG and Israel, we need to have a president, whatever the form takes, somebody who is critical, who is prepared to act independently, and who is prepared to say to the government, you guys have said to me that I must follow the Constitution, and I must hold you to the Constitution. If I see you veering from the Constitution, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to just be a rubber stamp. Because that's what the court said. The GG is not a rubber stamp of the cabinet.
We do apologize. I don't know what happened. We do apologize. We do apologize. Ratty, you there with us? We do apologize about this. We do apologize about this. We do apologize. I think what happened, the internet went down, and that is what happened with us a while ago. So we lost everything, and I do apologize about this. Senator Brown will be back with us come Wednesday night, hopefully. And this won't happen again. We do apologize about this. But we're here speaking up to Senator Brown, and we lost everything. But we have Rattigan here with us. Let me see if we can get a hold of Miss P, who is supposed to be on the thing here with us. We do apologize about this. I sincerely apologize to you all about this. Sincerely. We lost our feed. What happened? I don't know. I apologize. We're supposed to have another guest coming on with us, but we're not getting the guest either. Let me see if I can get a hold of her here. Welcome to you, Ratty. Cannot hear you. Okay, I'm not getting back Miss P. I'm supposed to get Miss P to come. Miss P, welcome to the program. You're live.
Good night, good night. Welcome to each and everyone.
Yes.
Big up yourself.
Ratty, you here with us? Okay. We have Miss P. We do apologize. We lost feed earlier on, and we lost Senator Brown will be back with us. He had an engagement. We do apologize about that. Miss P, welcome to the program. Where Ratty got on. Ratty, go ahead.
Yeah, people want to understand this and want to know this and acknowledge it. That Miss P, she a co-host the program going forward, right? We don't know her and we don't love her. She speaks truth to power, and she does it in a way that everybody can understand. She has an insight, and she has a terrific insight. She has terrific instincts, and she also has the ability to convey her thoughts, again, so that everybody can understand. And this is her inaugural broadcast where she'll be co-hosting the Jeffrey Tavares Make We Talk live show every Monday. She will be here, or at least we anticipate her being every Monday, unless something comes up and she can't make it. So, Miss P, welcome. The floor is yours, because you are the co-host, So we just want to hear from you. Just give me a few words before we launch into the topics then.
All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you for having me. And I hope I'll continue to be of some inspiration to all of my teammates them. Well, on the topic tonight is about the money spent to buy the drill. Well, as we see how Jamaica go, if me go to shop and me can take $100 and buy 2 or 3 at the same something, why spend $1 million by one? Mm-hmm. You understand? That's my thing. But guess what happened now? What happened in Jamaica? In Jamaica, you have to be friend and attached. So that is where the corruption comes in. And my hope is when Mark G took over, we want a forensic audit. Right? We need a forensic audit. These people are doing too much. They are getting away with too much. Now, when you look at our country and the resources that our country have and the potential that our country have, we Jamaica people could do better. By far, them just tell international news like people lazy, young people don't want work and things. But work for what? Work for what? And that is it. Even this man go to St. Thomas and say, open big place, big plaza. When you friend them, KFC, they want to ice cream. No, you have a building the house, the municipal people there. And them same people are come by the building.
Miss P.
And them same one.
Miss P, I want to say something to you.
Yeah.
As you talk about that, my wife and I was listening to him giving the speech up by Morant Bay Urban Center. And he mentioned that Negro going to come the next Silicon Valley. Shireen started to laugh. I was like, what? Where's Miss P? Jeffrey called Miss P. I said to her, Miss P was in Silicon Valley now.
I was watching it. Those things, don't miss me. And if you don't miss me, to me, I have to go back and catch you back. That for sure the Jamaican people that the man that say we are our prime minister is mentally challenged. The man have a problem. That man shouldn't be on the ballot box. He might go put Silicon Valley, a Clarkstown. He might put here St. Thomas. Then when we get to Silicon Valley, no, you put one down on Negril.
Yes.
No, talk to people. If Silicon Valley there and Negril, Jamaica don't want it more. Because every jack man at Jamaica are going to have money, and we are going to have big job, and we can maintain ourselves. So you guys in the diaspora, what we call them, but we are going to tell us that. Big up on yourself, and we are eat turkey, and we are eat this, I eat that now, and that. That's all. Because we get two Silicon Valley. This man is just pathologically lie. And to me, he said he grew up in an Adventist church, but he not really, he not know the, or he might ignore the teaching of Adventists. Adventist church, yes, every church have them problem, but Adventist church teach you morals. Morals are what you call it, because I mean, I got university.
Hold on to me, Miss P.
And,
Hold on to me.
yeah.
The link I gave you, can you come on that link?
May I tell you the truth, you know, Jeffrey? Me not so good with the equipment busy.
See where you are then, because I was a lot of calls coming in on the phone, so I was trying to get the calls. But see where you are.
Oh, right. So says me, I tell you, this man no have no sense because of all the atrocity what he have done to the Jamaican people. If you notice everything, I bring it back to him. And he's like, the black of them just have your aunt him. And he just aunt him. And the power of God just come down upon him. That's the whole of them just turn confused. Because the Adventist church teach you they have morals. Because of the love of money. Look where the man take the country and bring it to. For him and a few, I let the majority to suffer. What can go so? The cry of the nation is upon his shoulder. Those people will bulldoze their house. Those kids who didn't go to school because of care seat. Those young men will lock up under SOE who have lost their job. A young man lost his eye. What do you expect him to go down so free? And right now, I mean, that's right, you know. But it puts them to know a government, they call it incumbent government, we're in a power for 9 years. And you can't now coming back to election. And you can't settle your cabinet, you see them? What that tells you? What the position we're in? And the opposition should I in that position? All this man should be doing is to remind us, if you wish, all the goods that you have done for us. What this man do for 9 years? More atrocity from atrocity. God bless the diaspora. God bless uno 20, uno 10, uno 50, uno $100. Uno send come across the family and friend. God bless uno. And as we continue to say, my wish, what would make me happy is that the diaspora have a seat in a parliament and the diaspora come together and have a chain of supermarket, a chain of pharmacy, a chain of hardware, a chain of every business out here, I even a chain of hotel. Buy Jamaican, for Jamaican. That would make me dead a happy woman. You know why? You guys, all of the Jamaican people them up there, most of them, not them kids were birth up there, you don't understand the terrain of Jamaica. You know the Jamaican people like that. So when you come together and I go do a business, you are going to make sure Jamaican people are comfortable. You are going to put things in this. Yes, you're going to find people where broke law, but where broke law, you don't know what will happen to you. But we won't have no Mr. Ching Chang a boss we up and I push the road and I demotivate with. Right? And the country for one that the ministry of labor go back to where it belongs, do what it's supposed to be doing. Jeffrey, out here, to get an employment and all of the atrocity that your employer done to you, it does make sense. You go to ministry of labor because you're not reach nowhere.
You know, I'm glad you made that point in the misspeak because I saw something the other day. I saw a video with the Prime Minister and the owner for Guardsman Group. And I'm pretty much sure the people at Jamaica House said to Prime Minister Honest that the Guardsman Group staff members have been demonstrating about higher wages and so forth. So you're correct. They're not the big done.
Jeffrey.
Yes, ma'am.
2023. Listen me now, and it's McKinley. 2023, the Supreme Court order security companies to pay the security officers them overtime and them back money and whatever. Until today, not even a dollar. Until today, not even a dollar. If you should get an audit from the security companies then in Jamaica, I would have run your eye. Security walk and dead and couldn't bury themselves. Security walk and take sick and couldn't buy medication. That is one thing I would have liked. And Mr. Ratty, I would have put it to you. You and Finzi Smith and others who could have confirmed a good security company out there. A security company where people have to do their work, train personnel with different category. And when they work them, you pay them. No, look at me at my age. I've been working from 80s, something come down. But if I didn't know what I know now, things would have been better. However, I work. And when I go to NHC, them don't know me. Okay? Them don't know me at NHC. And I didn't want to get to Mr. Brown to tell what the man name, tell Marky G them and Mr. Clyde Morris. So there are thousands of Jamaicans out here, like myself, who have been working, contributing to NHT, and we get no benefit from NHT. At our age, is either you do something to us special, or you stop us from paying NHT and give it back the money, but we don't finish for ourselves. Because it is a robbery.
So, Ms. P, your company pay over your NIS and NHT though?
Everything show up on paper, but when you go there, different something.
Lord, Mr. Rattigan, come on in here.
What to do? What to do? You see on paper, yes. But what to do if you take a Ministry of Labor, who will help you? More than you how long Peter works to go on. So you understand? So that is the reason why I try with my kids then and tell them and as I say again, if I did knew what I know now, things would have been better for me. But all time people say, one of dead, no call it. Drop it.
Yeah. Right, you have a question for you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Ratty.
Yeah, you can hear me? You can hear me?
Yeah, man, loud and clear.
Okay, all right. Ms. P, listen, you have been a very vocal critic of the government, and for good reason, because you put your facts out there and you come with a body and a wealth of experience and common sense, because you know them say common sense is not so common, and sometimes that's what we need. So what I'd like to do at this point is to put you in the driver's seat. You've always been a passenger. We have always been passengers. So now you're in the driver's seat. You now are in charge of the government as of right now. I want you to tell me what your priorities are. And this is from a common sense standpoint, because here's the thing: the book knowledge and all of them things with them, all of them have and go up there. You see them make a mockery of education, because education doesn't mean doesn't only mean sitting in a classroom. That's only one form, one way of being educated. That's formal. But you have a lot of people out there who are better educated than people who sit down in the classroom and just swat, people who just memorize. That's not thinking. So you're in the driver's seat now. Tell us what your priorities are, because you know the situation. So what your priorities are and how you're going to go about transforming the country, bringing the country to a level where we can actually see Vision 2030 as a possibility.
Well, my priority is 1, education. 1, 2, healthcare. And remember, the biggest investment a government can invest is in its people. And once you don't invest in your people, we're going nowhere. So we need to educate our people. And agriculture. Agriculture is what? Food security. Watching the globe, seeing what's happening around us, we have to make sure we have food security. At any time, given time, a war can pop up. It now go pop up at Jamaica, because Jamaica is a Caribbean country. However, it will affect Jamaica because the world is intertwined. The next thing, when you employ your people, when you bring foreign people come invest, so to that manner, woman said, guess what? We appreciate you, we respect you. But these are the guidelines that you're going to tread. You are going to come with your people, them. You come with your investment. My people have to get job and good payable job. I don't want you to come here and bring managers, engineers, and this, unless it's a specific era and say, for instance, we don't have the person, there are those personnel. At the same time, your person we are come here can do it is gonna train my people to do it. Okay? So you can come in my place can invest and you can 75% of worker. I only use 25% of my people and give them the low paying job. No, that won't work. That is the thing. That's why I say I would like to see the diaspora come together and have some chain of business out here so that Jamaican can get job from the highest to the lowest of what that person is competent of doing. That is my plan. And as a prime minister, you're like a father in the house. Your responsibility is to take care of your family. But this prime minister put his family last because of nepotism and cronyism. And at the end of the day, you see, we all now see what is happening, so how it plays out. If when this prime minister get the country, everybody vote for him, and he win. He go back again, and he's so cruel. in calling at 2020 and people go back and get it. No. Looking at yourself, no man, and put the Jamaican people at your forefront. Every time you take up a plate, consider a little woman around this, a little man around this. So. No. If you was a prime minister, sleep. If you can put $1,000 Jamaican from people wages, that will show you have no heart, no stomach for people. You go out and you have drink. You not because you're prime minister, you spend money too, and you know the value of money. When you give a person who does some hard work $15,000 for the week, and Ratty and people, when they say 15,000, you do not get 15,000. Then take out the statutory deduction. Then take out the bank, take out for them own. So if you have 15,000 in your bank, you go drive 3 times, you pay 3 bank fee. What can that do to people? Have you any conscience? So as a prime minister, I will make sure my people get livable wages. And the tax money, it would have to run the country the way it ought to be run. The next thing, I would have to make the members, parliament, councillors, senators, whoever them be in a parliament, say, brother, let me tell you something. We are bodies and friends now, but when it comes to the people's work, we don't unite. So anybody find a hand in the cookie jar, them are going to pay the full penalty. Me not have no friend when it come. Even as an ordinary person, no. Me not have no friend when it come to work. My type of work, me make sure me cross every I, me cross every T, me that every I. Because when me reach home, me no want nobody to call me phone and ask me nothing. If you have to call me, no problem, because me going to tell you what happened, and me going to write it down. Bobby, things to see me, teach me that. Right? So when him having people, them a thief the money, and them a do and them a do everything and a go and see it play out. That is the reason why it's not that it. It's not that Jamaica don't have resources where it can take care of people, you know. Jamaica have more than what it can feed its people, but it's just the format of how it's going. You can be a prime minister, you can live that you have too much truck. Then if me ever buy a truck to invest, say me reach retirement age, by age, and me want to do something because me know long me I go live. And me say something I work down, so I go buy a one truck. Me can't get no employment. How me manage? Then tell you, and you again you tell the civil servant to take 20%, and you take 300% doing nothing. Come on, no man. What can go so? People are getting the them back. And the next thing, what I would change if I have the power, as it becomes a member of parliament, I will give you a car, but you have to maintain the car out of your pocket. Just like one other person have to buy one car, maintain it, go up, maintain it, everything. You, the member of parliament, if I do give you an SUV, because she say you work as you have to travel, go this, travel this. But when it comes to maintenance, not the taxpayers' money. Parliamentarians are getting away with too much. That is my problem. And those are the things that make the country better. Okay? That is my problem. The parliamentarians, they get too much. They need to get their act together. Oh, the road infrastructure, we don't fix up them there because we make the money. And we don't make the money. We make the money, but it got in a pocket, right? It got in a pocket. We not on a road. And the money is there. The money was there, but in a pocket. And the next thing, I would make sure I put up a body. The food that comes in my country, that will feed my people, it has to be the best grade. So when I have a body of people to test the food, to certify it, even before it distribute out. When it comes to WAF, no foreigner can run the WAF. No foreigner can run the airport. Because I have to take care. I'm not going to put people on my gate. foreign people at my gate. My gate was manned by me. Me determine what come in and what stay out. But once you take you let me get the people, anything can walk in. That is it. And the next thing, Ratty, me now go pass a law, but it affect the ordinary people and it don't affect me. One law for everybody, no matter what position. And I will be a good prime minister. People love me for that. Because me, I do the things that make people happy. And it can be done. It's not like it can't be done. You draw $1.4 billion a year out of NHT. You imagine how much house them that could have make? Do you imagine how much housing scheme that could have make for poor people and people who contribute to NHT? Because they make it be mandatory. If you work hard 3 days, it will come out of your pay. It's not like you say, boy, money little so you collect it next week. No, it's coming out of your pay. And it doesn't have a set. You say, if you work $1,000 or $50, if you work $2,000 or $50, no. The more you work, the more money come out of it. So Ratty, those things need to fix. Those are my point. And all people and kids have to be number one because they are the future, and the older people, they are the one who set it for us. All right?
Well, let me just say that people, what you've just witnessed is a demonstration of how passion and common sense can actually supplant, can actually replace sitting in our classroom. Because what you just heard is a blueprint for success. And you just didn't only hear it, you felt it. This is what we need in Jamaica from our leaders. One of the most important things that she said, she talk about education and health and all of the usual suspects, the things that that would come up in a conversation. But one of the things that she said, very striking, she said she would get her cabinet together and make them know from jump that, listen, me not have no friend when it comes to governance. Don't expect any favors from me. To me, that is very telling. That is one of the most important things that a Jamaican leader must do in today's times. You have to pick the right people, and you have to make people know that, listen, if you put you on, as Miss P said, you put you on the cookie jar and we catch you, you're going to suffer the consequences. You will suffer the consequences. And also, what we are going to do is make sure we put the right people in the right positions, and we're going to hold them accountable. We not only will say it, we will do it. And you can look at a leader, when he or she speaks, and you can tell if they're BSing you or they truly feel your pain and they're going to do something about it. And that's one of the reasons why people, and this is not popular with politicians, talking about feeling people's pain. What I'm about to tell you is not popular with politicians in Jamaica, but I believe with every fiber of my being that if you are offering yourself and your service to the people of Jamaica, then you must live in the constituency that you want to serve. Show us that you're really committed to the cause. Come and live in our neighborhood so that when the water lock off, it lock off for everybody. When the light go off for everybody, including you. Potholes and your front end mash up, your car mash up too. Because those things will drive you to do for people and yourself. When you live away in luxury from the people who are suffering, the people who are in degradation, there is no connection there. Only words. But when you live there and the people them come at your door and knock, well, them need nothing knock because whatever happens, you are gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it. And I think that will be one of the ways to ensure that we have a better Jamaica as far as the relationship between politicians and people. You can't have that distance from people. Town hall meetings, it's supposed to be a regularly scheduled event. It's not supposed to be something where them just feel like and them come and them tell you and them do it. It's a ad hoc thing. Whenever them feel like. It's supposed to dip on the calendar where everybody knows, everybody can plan around that and say, yeah, we are going to talk to our politician now. I will make him know how we feel. We are going to big him up or we are going to criticize him. And so I completely agree with Ms. P about her priorities and how things should be done. Now, you'll have politicians who come and tell you those things, you know. But believe me, people, you're smart. You know when the trickery are come on. You know. And if a politician, take it from me, if a politician spend 2 terms promising you, and then go and spend a 3rd term promising you, beware. Because the election the 3rd time is supposed to be a referendum on performance, past performance. It's not supposed to be on future promises. It's not supposed to be on what am I going to do a year from now, 2 years from now, 3. No, it's what have you done over the last 9 years to earn my vote to go on for the next 4 years. So don't come and tell me what you're going to do next 2, 3, 4 years. Because you tell me that what you're going to do 4 years ago, 9 years ago. Let's go back and revisit those things because I'm telling you, and you know what, Jeffrey, they're Miss P and listening audience, family members, they're very, very worried right now. And you know, one of the reasons why they're worried, they can't put out that damn manifesto. They're going to think twice because now they know that we are examining the manifesto. Yes. And if them come with any other promises with them going on 2016, 2020, we're going to identify them. Yes. And guess what happened? If them don't come with the promises, we're going to identify the ones made in 2016, 2020, and yet to be fulfilled. So them trapped. Them trapped. So right now, I know that Editor Senator Morgan sit down there right now and him can't sleep at night time because he might get ready for draft manifesto, you know. And no, we'll force him to go back and look at 2016. And we'll force him to go back and look at 2020. And we're going to show them the language that them use for trick, you know. And we want people to understand, to tell them, say, we don't want the language, but we want you to tell us in very simple terms. Very simple terms so that even a baby can understand. This is what we plan to do. Although I'm still saying that the people need to provide the politicians with their manifesto and say, these are the things that we want you to do in our community, because one size does not fit all. What's affecting the people in Negril probably not affecting the people in Port Antonio. So everybody should have them own manifesto, them own list of items that they need to realize in their communities. So them go to the politician and say, this is what we need, and let the incumbent and the challenger tell them how them going to do it. And the challenger, the incumbent going to have a difficult time, because if him did it 9 years and never do it, then why you think he might do it in another four years or so? All you're doing, you're giving them a chance now to rob some more. That's all you're doing. You're giving them. You heard it. You heard about the drill. You heard about the drill. And I guarantee you, if them should have opened up the books, or if somebody should have opened up the books, you'll find that there are many more instances of this drill incident. Yeah. Where they purchase things and then purchasing things at an exorbitant price. You know why? Because of kickbacks and because of money are going to people's pocket. They don't care about the Jamaican people. Them see how the majority live. Them see how we live. And it never dawned upon them to have a heart to say, no, man. You know, it's one thing to take the cream off of the top. It's another thing to scrape the bottom. It's another thing. Give the people them something, man. Give the people them something. Stop lying to the people. I want me to say lying to people, I talk about just across the entire spectrum of government, them a lie. Them a lie upon local government, them a lie upon foreign affairs, them a lie upon the national security issues, them a lie upon education. Them a lie. And we need, and for those of, let me just make a quick comment here about this. There are people out there who will say, well, all of the guys want to just talk, and nothing get done. It's not true. It's not true. When you talk, you educate people. And when you educate people, that's frightening for politicians because now people can think and can ask questions. And when you ask questions and you keep asking and them turn you away and keep asking, one day the door I go bust down, you know. You know that the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs never had a focal point, never had a budget, never had the program called the gender program, where this government, this JLP, not this government, but the JLP passed in, they formalized it in 2011. And when I ask them who, because I see them having big functions every March, and when I ask them, how not spend money on not have a program, and I ask all of the government, and some of them still supposed to come back now. Minister Grange, we are waiting for you to come back because you have 2 permanent secretaries, and it shouldn't take you 60 days for you to tell me who is your point person, who's overseeing the program. Shouldn't take you 60 days, but you take you 60 days. With 2 permanent secretaries, the only ministry with 2 permanent secretaries. Well, guess what, people? Last week, the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs wrote to me and said, Mr. Rattigan, thank you very much for bringing it to our attention. We now have a focal point. We now have somebody here. And we have a budget of $1 million. And we have a program. All because somebody took an interest and said, me nah stop. All because somebody took an interest and said, me nah stop. And so I said to the people who said, no, I said, you know what happened? I guarantee you, if nobody takes an initiative, status quo, things going to remain the way they are and get even worse. But you see, once you take a step, you never know what might happen. It's true that they might not do anything, but they might not do anything on the first try, your first try. They might not do anything on your second try, but you keep trying, because the only time you fail is when you fail to get up. That's the only time you fail. If you stand firm and keep kicking, the doors will open. And that's why I implore, I encourage, I beseech you, my people, to spend the time with us. Learn from us. Challenge us. Because when you challenge us, you're challenging yourself as well. So that we can grow together. And we can prosper together. Because there is strength in numbers. And this is not the time for us to be critical and at the same time resentful and at the same time be lazy. There is work to be done. And it must be done in order for us to realize the change, because we are the change that we seek. We are the ones who have to get up and do the things necessary for force the politicians to understand, because they don't understand this, you know. They don't understand that we are the bosses. You know why they don't understand it? Because we have relinquished the power to them. We have given it to them. And so after generation, they come and it's embedded in them that they do things. And we are minions. Them can talk to us any way they're talking to us. He's off the soapbox because just are getting cracked.
Hello? Hello?
Sure. Yeah.
Turn on the TV in the,
So what?
turn on the TV in the background, man. Miss P, you there? Miss P, welcome back to the program.
Yeah, man. Me there, man. Me there.
We're gonna open the phone lines. Just stay on. When it comes to me, you have to go on hold. Just stay on. Don't move.
Okay.
We're gonna open the phone lines for a couple of minutes. Then we're gonna say good night for the night because it's now 15 minutes before 10 o'clock. 15 before 9 o'clock in Jamaica. The number to call is 954-529-8030. Once again, we do apologize of what happened earlier on because of the internet issue. 954-529-8030. For those who wanted to call in, a call came in and he was recognized in the background. I hope he called back. 6 missed calls. Whoa. 954-529-8030. That's the number to call in. We're not calling now. Well, this evening has been a great program this evening. Apart from the little internet issues that we had. Oh, here's a call coming in. Good night, caller. Good night. Welcome to the Make We Talk program. You're live. Go ahead.
Good night, Mr. Tavares.
Where are you calling from, sir?
I am actually in Georgia.
Oh, the land of Georgia. Oh, Georgia, my man. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, but I'm a Jamaican man. Trelawny. I have been on the program from much earlier on, even before you had that break where the internet went away. Man, I've been listening, and I'm telling you, this lady who you brought on, Miss P, oh my God, man, that woman bring, I wouldn't say that I cried, but I got a lump in my throat. Because like her, I am someone who never went to no college or university. But as you had a question Mr. Rattigan put to her, and common sense prevail. You know? And because for me, the 3 points, three main things that I would have to focus on if Jamaica come under my control at this time are health, education, and agriculture. She hit the nail so much on the head. And what we need, sir, and I'm hoping for, that spot where she said, regardless of who you are, whether you're in my party or you're on the other side, transparency and honesty is what we require. Me and you are no friend if you are Eve. Oh my God, that hit the heart of the matter, sir. Because in Jamaica right now, for one thing, first of all, let me tell you something. I believe that the pay for politicians are too exorbitant. When we have with teachers and with nurses who spend millions, you know, can barely survive. We have counselors who can't read a script. We have counselors and MPs who can't even pronounce, you know, everyday words like administration and infrastructure. You know, it is a disgrace. So we need to have certain rules in place. I have confidence in Mr. Golding, and one of the first moves that I'm looking forward to his administration making is to strengthen the Office of the Integrity Commission and the Office of the Auditor General. And make sure, sir, you know, listen, sir, we're going to find corrupted people everywhere now because it's a human weakness. But it's the way we deal with it when we encounter it. And if we deal with it properly, it is going to deter others from trying the same thing. See what happened to my name J.A.G. Smith, reporter, Senate Representative Farmer, Jack Smith. The J.A.G. is actually his initials, you know.
I know.
Yes. And I was hoping that that would serve as a deterrent. You know?
People are saying, you know, that Jack Smith went to prison donkey moon years ago.
But that was in the 70s. But more should have gone by now, so that example is always held out there and put the fear of God into them. Another thing too, sir, something that Mr. Rattigan said regarding the residency of political representatives. I did a little bit of police work, you know, and because of that, I went through the training and do a little reading in the basic laws. You know, I'm not going to try to pretend that I'm a lawyer or anything, but I have certain understanding. And if you go into the Representation of the People's Act, I am sure that somewhere in there, you will find that the elected representative is supposed to be from the area that he represents. He should be a resident there. And this is one of the things that really destroy the political system. And the man I'm living in them big house up at Beverly Hills. And I represent one little place like South Trelawney or one little party in Westmoreland, up in the hills of the bush. They are completely out of touch with the reality of what is happening to the people them. Then I drop into the same patrol, then I taste the water, and when the water lock off, it doesn't inconvenience them. You understand? So we want a Jamaica where to come new, sir. Congrats to that lady named Miss Steve. I approve of everything that you said, and I am not as eloquent as she is, you know. And even though I think sometimes I get confused and I get an opportunity like this to express myself, so I might even miss some of the things that I really plan to say. But everything that lady said is on target. It's a kind, and if we can't get that sort of stuff inside, we are never ever going to have a good Jamaica. I see Mr. Golding as a man like Michael Manley. When Michael Manley won in 1972, I was 20 years old. He won just before my 21st birthday. And I was so enthused by the things that he said that I felt that I would join the army and pick up a weapon and go fight for the country, you know. And I haven't felt that way again until now that Mr. Golding is here. And as old as I am, when the right time comes, I am going home to vote. Yes. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to vent my feelings. Keep up the faith. Your program and others like you, Jamaican Carlos, Hot Off of the Press, Hot Topic. I can't name them all, but you guys are so, you know, the programs are so educative. I have learned a lot. I open my eyes to, you know, a lot of things and reinforce certain things that I know to be right. Thanks for having me. You guys have a good night.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Bye.
You know, I must be myself, you know. Something came in my thoughts a while ago. Ratty, you remember the old Grace bags?
Yeah.
Grace, can you have some bag?
Yeah.
Have you ever found any money in those bags?
Different to a road, man.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, people, join us tomorrow morning. I'm seeing here, join Dr. Alfred Dawshaw, the Minister of Health and Wellness, this Tuesday, May 20 at 10:30 a.m. as he addressed the nation on issues plaguing Jamaica's health system. there'll be a press conference from the People's National Party Opposition spokesperson on health at 10:30 a.m. Jamaica time. That's 11:30 a.m. US time. We will be bringing that to you live. And also at 2 p.m. live from the Parliament. Good night. Welcome to the Mekwitalk program. You're live.
Good night.
Good night, ma'am. Where are you calling from?
New York.
Go ahead, ma'am. Welcome to the program. You're live.
Okay. About 2 weeks ago or so, I'm sorry, I heard you mention about somebody who has requested their passport from a year ago and they didn't get it. Did that person get their passport right now?
I don't know. Maybe they haven't called me back, so I don't know.
Was it really from last a year they were waiting on the passport?
Yes, ma'am. 2 years.
Oh my God. All right. I just want to clarify something.
Why you want to clarify, ma'am?
No, I won't say it. I'm not going to say it right now.
Why? You think we're lying, ma'am?
No, I don't think you're lying. I'm just coordinating something that I learned recently. So I said, oh, I heard on Jeffrey's program where he was saying, I just walked into the room the night or the day and I heard you saying somebody had told you that they are waiting on their passport from over a year.
From them 2-3 years under this administration. And the former, there was a former ambassador who was here and she never do a damn thing to help the people.
Say that again?
Jamaica's former ambassador to Washington, Audrey Marks, did not do anything to help the Jamaican people to get their passport.
I saw her in Parliament last week. One day, was it when? Must be Friday. Rambling away. You know what, Jeffrey? I'm so tired of them that
she love to ramble,
it isn't.
ma'am. You know, she love to ramble, you know. You know, like when some people love to be a minister of finance into a party or something like that. They just love to ramble away with a grace bag full of money.
Yeah, I am noticing something is like that man chooses the people who are like they will do his dirty work for him. It's like a grease palm system going on. The contracts are given to people who will do the kickback, and the jobs are given to people who are very submissive. So, I mean, whatever he says, they will do. He has so many different ministries in his office because when the money runs, I think, you know what, I don't even want to put myself into that position.
Before you go.
Pardon?
Let me ask you this question before we go.
Go ahead.
Do you believe if it was in some other country, the government could allow other entities to come in and the people who are trained contractors don't have any work? You believe it could happen in other countries?
It could not happen. I remember last year, is either your program or one of the other bloggers, there was something happening in Guyana.
It was me.
About a road construction thing. And it wasn't even all outside contractors. It was right there, their own contractors, and they were doing a shoddy job. And the minister who was in charge of construction and thing, he went there and told them his mind. And I think he took away the contract from them because they couldn't finish the road in time.
You'll never see it happening in Jamaica, my dear. That will never happen in Jamaica. Never in a million years.
It's all about nepotism in there and cronyism and who can return. I was sitting down here listening about the drill. And oh God, I don't even want to say it, but I know the person who is in charge of that health something. He's a must be former lawyer for that party. And his brother has how many thousand acres of land in St. Thomas that he paid like $1,000 for. So I mean, it's like just crime families. Everybody from this family, few families want to run Jamaica.
Then who allow it, my dear?
Huh?
Who allow it?
The people.
All right. And on that note, my dear, we gotta run. Thank you very much for calling in.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Same to you, ma'am.
All right. Good job, Miss Pat. Well done.
All right, my dear. Thanks much.
All right.
Bye-bye. This is where we're gonna say so long for tonight. Mr. Rattigan, your final comment tonight about the not about the grace bag though. Go ahead.
No. No, people. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks.
Hello. Yeah, so I have a concern with Dr. Chang and Delroy Chuck, right? So my concern is this: both of them are Chinese descendants, right? And both of them is actually on the part of killing off the Jamaican youths, because Dr. Chang said the police should shoot and then ask questions after, while Delroy Chuck is planning and getting the young kids arrested and spend how much years in prison. So that's generously, I'd say, wiping the populations out and then taking in the Chinese. So that's where my concern lies. So you have never seen the police in Jamaica arresting the Chinese. I've been in Jamaica for years and I've never seen that. You understand? The government.
What's the government?
The Andrew Holness government. They're in power right now.
No, sir. You're the government, sir. The people of the country is the government, sir. And if the people see certain things happening in the country, sir, they have a right to stand up. But they don't stand up, sir, because their party is in power.
That's the stupidity of it. These people, they prefer party over the country.
No, you're taking the whole idea of Delroy Chuck and Dr. Chang is from Chinese descent. It's neither here nor there, in sir. And I'm going to say this tonight, and people don't vex with me. The influx of the Chinese came into this country under the PJ Palestine administration. They allow the Chinese to get away tax breaks in this country. And this administration knows that damn thing about it. You see? So as far as I'm concerned, we in this country sit down and allow these people to do whatever they feel like to do to us. And get away with it. And I dare anyone to challenge me on that. Go and do an investigation.
Yeah, but you see, this government right now is running a while. It's like no one can talk to them. No one can tell them anything. You understand? Because as it even boils down to when they take the 300% raise, people talk about it. Did they listen? Did they do anything?
Why didn't the opposition say no? We will not take it.
Well, you know, they are not much better in my perspective. But then, as they are saying, once it is set, they can't do anything about it.
I'll tell you something, sir. If the opposition wanted to do something about it, you know what they could have done? They could have objected and come to the people about it, sir. Same way, if the opposition truly wanted to do something about Juliet Holness becoming speaker, they should have objected, done right, and said, no, we don't want her.
And I agree 100% to you right there.
And come to the people. They did not.
I agreed with you right there.
Anyway, thank you for calling. We're going to say so long for tonight. It's now 3 minutes after 10 o'clock. We got to go. Thank you very much, sir. You're going to say so long for tonight. Thanks to Miss P. Thanks to my good friend Wilfred Rattigan. Your final comment before we go, sir. No more phone calls.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. Always a pleasure to speak to our people. And we welcome the challenges, we welcome the criticism, but please.
Go ahead, Mr. Rattigan.
Yeah, please. Just take a look at the facts and then make up your mind. You know, take a look at the facts, think them through, and figure out what is going on. And it takes a little bit of practice to think like that. But I'm urging you to be disciplined about it. Take the time. And that's one of the reasons why we have this program, this segment on the Saturday program called Interrogation and Interviewing Techniques, so that you can see how people prepare themselves and how they formulate the questions and how they strategically ask questions and follow-up questions. And one of these days, we're going to have a segment where people can actually, we do role playing. And we've done it on this show before, and we've done it on the Wednesday night show. We just call in and we just ask questions, and you hone your skills, because those skills are going to be necessary in the people.
Good night, caller. Welcome to the program. You're live. Where are you calling?
Jeffrey, I'm calling from New York. Yeah, I enjoy your program, man. I miss P. Well, it was an inspiration. And God bless Rattigan. You're one of the biggest pushback against governmental corruption in Jamaica right now. And you come the right time. God place you in our consciousness at the right time. You teach you a lot. And you show with the pathway of drip up government and get information from them. Yeah, the ITA. We're glad for you. I tell the truth. And right now, if the GLP implode and disintegrate, the diaspora should form a political party. Trust me. Because we don't have the ingredient to represent the people.
Who's going to head a political party when they join it now? When they form it? Who's going to head it?
Well, we can't choose a leader by consensus, Jeffrey.
And who will you choose?
Well, why not?
No, I'm not a part of it.
You're not be a part of it?
No. Maybe just chat.
Well, listen now. You can continue to chat, because what you say resonate with me, and you're different way, and we appreciate what you do for it. So you lend your voice as a whip, and we appreciate that. But Rattigan will play an integral role. Well, not going right?
No.
Don't think so.
We will stay outside and hold government accountable, whether they're in the diaspora, yes or no. Because the diaspora full of bunch of hypocrites.
We can weed them out, Jeffrey. We can weed them out. If they're hypocritical and selfish, we can weed them out. We don't need them.
Come by, plate of dinner for $3,000 for the Prime Minister, and then First Lady, and then this and then that.
No, listen, my talk about the bogus diaspora, Jeffrey. We're not dealing with the bogus diaspora, We are dealing with the freedom fighter like Rattigan and them, and they were up on the front line. You know what I mean? Yourself and them people. Yeah, we're not dealing with the bogus diaspora who will keep the people in a bondage, said way. And the black bourgeoisie who don't really mean the people are not good. Trust me. You see, the governor, the governor of the Bank of Jamaica, when the insatiable corrupt prime minister decides about a 300% increase is justifiable for him and him corrupt cabinet. The governor of the Bank of Jamaica declared that he can't afford to get a working poor a living wages because it might affect inflation. And after that, he get an award from government. The one named Blights. So Jeffrey, keep a good work there. I big up Miss P, and God bless Rattigan every time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
hang up. Hold on there. I call about the person. She have been calling and calling and calling and calling. Okay. My producer. Good night. Welcome to the Make We Talk program. Your live producer giving us a wrap-up signal. Go ahead.
Good night, Mr. Jeffrey. How are you?
I'm here looking and living like brother.
Let me turn this phone. Mr. Rattigan, good night.
Good night, Miss Philadelphia.
Mr. Rattigan, you say the people they must, like you say them say, look out of them, I may paraphrase and all of that. Look here. Me not see how somebody, or when you fool or you can't read and write, you can't understand, you listen, and you dissect, and you try and you understand. It coming like you put it on a platter and give to them. How can they not see and understand? Them see, and them know. But you know what is them problem? This diartiness, this party, this color, when they must think logically. How could I ever vote for someone who don't have my interest at heart? Medically, me can't get looked after when I go to hospital. Me can't feed myself.
We have been doing all of that since 1962. We have been doing
what
all
is
of
wrong?
That since 1962 with people who want to prepare us, don't mind.
I mean, them say, them know, them understand. All them have to do apply themselves now. Vote out anti-criminal wholeness. I cannot understand how this man, he have something up his sleeve. How can this man know that he has done so much wrong to the people and the country and still putting up himself for office? Him too bright man, him too bare face. When you look in that man's face, just studying face, you see the devil turn up in his face, They have got a pathway way, to express it, Look at this man good. And when you look at the people who have come fall of the law and they are in prison, locked away, serving their time, and Andrew Holness has done so much and beyond, and is free walking about like he has done nothing.
Well, I'll tell you something, ma'am. If the Jamaican diaspora don't see what he's doing and the hands and glove him when he come up here and kiss him and we love bro God. He's gonna continue, it's continuing, man. Because if the majority of the Jamaican people who live in the diaspora, over 3-point-something million of us, continue hugging up this man, what do you expect?
Well, Jeffrey, we know the people are authentic. We not tell no lie on the man. It is clear as ABC for everybody to see and know. So all we do, we weed out the bad weed them. Right? That's what we're going to do. This is it again. When you notice the operation of the JLP, how everybody get a cut, every ministry chop, everybody set up. I don't understand why Andrew Holness have all these ministries, he heads them, and yet he has ministers. For what? And yet they are getting paid for doing nothing. And also that he has raised their salary. And look at the policemen, the teachers, the doctors. Oh, come on. This ain't right at all.
What do you mean it ain't right? If the people of Jamaica...
It's right, Jeffrey.
Hold on for me, ma'am.
It's not right.
Hold on for me, ma'am. Hold on for me. When Andrew Holness raised his salary, Professor Rosalie Hamilton along with Jerry Small, everybody go out there to protest. How many people out there? Nobody never out there with them. So I don't blame Andrew. Raise it. Insurance 500%. We're a bunch of the damnedest in this country.
That is true, Jeffrey. They just sit back, laid back, like they're comfortable with what is happening. And people keep saying he's the best prime minister. On what terms? How come?
Don't deliver Jamaican diaspora with the ask for $3,000 plate for food. So he's the best prime minister known. And he deserves a third term.
Okay, let's see now. Which one are the term?
A third term with a grace bag full of money. Anyway, darling, thank you for calling in.
All right, Jeffrey. Take care and thank you. Thank you. Thank Mr. Rattigan and thank all the freedom fighters, because let me tell you, people who never know nothing know something now. And those who knew, they know more now, like myself. You understand? So God bless and keep, true warriors of Jamaica. God bless you.
Bless up, Miss Philly.
Good night and blessed good night to the Make Talk program. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from all the way in the one of the Caribbean country.
Oh, in the Eastern Caribbean. Good night to the Eastern Caribbean and beyond. Welcome to the program. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just one question more of the ask Rattigan, right?
He's listening. All the yours.
Yeah, what I'm saying, right? Do we sure that there was people came down from say England come to do the investigation with SSL? Can we sure about that, or it was just a smoke and mirror they put in front of our face to pretty much just to cover things up? And because normally when like some big press like that coming down, there should be like some mainstream media and stuff like that.
No,
there was nothing. I'm not sure if we can track the source of because these government they're tricky. I don't know, Mr. Rattigan never check that out and see if people really did come down in Jamaica to investigate SSL for true.
Yeah. Answer Go ahead, Ratty.
Yeah, there were people from Kroll who went to Jamaica to investigate or conduct an investigation of the SSL debacle. In fact, there was a press conference held by the Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, at the time, and they were all there. The people we didn't see the FBI agents, the people that they claim come down to investigate.
They wasn't there.
Yeah, we didn't see those people. But Kroll was there, and the British government actually subsidized the investigation. The amount that they paid to Kroll, the amount escapes me right now, but they did pay a significant amount of money to Kroll to assist with the investigation of SSL. And the Jamaican government paid its fair share too. So to answer your question, yes, Kroll representatives, members of Kroll actually went there, and they completed a report that the government has not to date released. And we tried to get it from the UK, and they're basically saying the same thing, that no, the Jamaican government will have to release that. So there we are.
Wow. So our taxpayer money, our taxpayer millions gone down the drain.
Yeah, what they will tell you is that they didn't use taxpayers' money. They'll tell you that, they use money from a funding site that they put like seized property. So if they seize currency, seize cars, seize this, that they put it over there. So what you're telling is that it's not really taxpayers' money; it's money from criminals that they confiscated.
So much people hungry in Jamaica. Why don't go and feed those people? Why don't use those money and go feed those people? Huh?
It's a good point.
These people they take Jamaican people for one kunomono. One either they take Jamaican people for.
Aren't we a bunch of kunomono for them? Aren't we the same one who putting them in?
Yeah. And I don't understand why we Jamaican people can't just wise up and take off their blinders and see that this man don't mean Jamaica no good. No good.
I think they're getting there though. I think they're getting there. People are listening and hearkening to the message. And it's one of them things that one cocoa full basket, and that the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So we have to take the steps, and people are come along. You know, it's one of those things where you have to be patient, because you're talking about changing a mindset that's been instilled for decades, many decades. And so you now have to open up those people's minds, and it's a difficult thing, but we're up to the challenge. And if people are just willing to give us a listening ear, they will come along. Let me just use the time, some of the time to say, people, sign up the Magnitsky petition. And again, I have to repeat that you don't have to pay any money to sign the petition. You don't have to pay any money. In fact, we are asking you to make your donations to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation. So you go over to ojldf.net, and that's where you make your donations. Don't make them on the change.org, the platform where we have the petition. But we need you to go over there and sign. Now, here's something that's interesting.
Thank you.
We found out that there are about in excess of 50,000 people who have looked at the petition, and yesterday we have less than 2,000 people who signed. And what we're hearing is that a lot of people are under the notion, mistakenly, that you have to pay to sign the petition. And then there are others who think that, oh, if I sign, the Jamaican government go and find out. No, both of them. You don't have to sign, you don't have to pay to sign the petition, and the Jamaican government is not going to find out who you are when you sign the sign the thing. And the second, when you sign the petition. And the second thing I want to announce is that the Reconnection Rally will be held in Jamaica on June 21st, Saturday, June 21st. And that's one of the reasons why we need the donations, because we have to bring this thing to fruition. This is about getting families together, bringing the children, the whole family together, and having fun with the having entertainment, and at the same time having some education about civics. What does it mean to be a Jamaican in terms of the Constitution and the laws of Jamaica? What does it mean? Ask yourself that question and see if you can answer it. What does it mean? One of the things it means is that you have to participate, but you don't know how you can participate because they've taken civics out of the curriculum. So we're saying we're going to be teaching civics, and we're going to be teaching civics as to the Constitution and the cost of living. That's how we're gonna talk to you about your role in making Jamaica a better place as far as a constitution is concerned and as far as cost of living.
Yes.
Make it.
Thank you. And you guys did a wonderful job. As Tam always said, if we vote in the PNP and they're not doing good, we vote them back out next trip. That's how it should work in Jamaica. So no party if them do bad or if them do good. They're not doing what they're supposed to do, what they say they're supposed to do, vote them out. And also, when PNP win the election, they need to have a full audit, full blown audit, even start the first couple audits, investigate all of these MPs, JLPs, MP, them, investigate all of them. And who get locked up and bangled up, lock them up. Okay. And I swear to go get better in Jamaica. That's the only way to get better in Jamaica. Because they rob and the money gone and they laugh and smile because them good. And the people must suffer. Lock them up.
We had two glorious chances, recently to set the record straight. One of them was Marissa Dalrymple Philibert. They should have sent her to prison. And the other one is Leslie Campbell. They should have sent them to prison. Instead, what they did, they fined them. And the money where them fine them, a chunk change for them people there. A chunk change.
Ruel Reid shouldn't go to jail from day one. And they shouldn't be in a jail.
Yeah, not only Ruel Reid alone, sir. You remember the Petroleum saga?
Yeah.
Okay. That person still sits in Parliament. Anyway, my friend, we gotta run.
Yeah, man. No see I read, man. Bless up.
All right, thank you very much.
The One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and its global supporters cordially invite Jamaicans abroad and abroad to its inaugural reconnection on June 21st, 2025 at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston, Jamaica. Bring your entire family for a day of food, fun, entertainment, and information. Get an understanding of the Constitution and the skills necessary to exercise your rights and your civic responsibilities as Jamaican citizens. You can't afford to miss this inaugural reconnection rally, June 21st in Kingston. Tune in for further information and updates to Reason with Rattigan on YouTube and reggaeglobalradio.com, Saturdays at 3 p.m. New York time and at 2 p.m. in Jamaica. See for yourself.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. Too bad you have the magnets to keep the fling up the toe, you know? You have the magnets keep a fling up there?
No, what happened, Ratty? It's not on this computer. I'm using the Mac computers on the other computer.
Okay, all right, no problem.
The Mac computer freeze up earlier on. I'm using the Mac computer.
Mac
The other one is blind.
All right. Well, I just said there, you know?
All right. So we're gonna say thank you for coming and thanks to Lambert Brown, Senator Lambert Brown, for coming on, Lamy. Yes. He promised to come back on the next time when we have everything sorted out properly. We do apologize to everyone. This system here, you know, I have to blame Tigo for this one. Tigo is the one who has to be blamed for this. And, you know, we want to say thanks to Wilfred S for coming on. And we don't have no people bag of money around here. We're not flying no Jeep and signal, no plane around here. Anyway, Rattigan, have a good night, my friend. God bless you. God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Not hearing you.
Oh.
Yes, go ahead now.
You hear me? No, I said bless up everybody and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. We're going to be a mystic sensation. And then Wednesday night, it's Come Reason with Rattigan. And of course, on Saturday, we're back to Reason with Rattigan, where we're going to bring you some breaking news, real breaking news with some documents where we're going to show you how the government perform or underperform. But you'll be the judge. Until then, take care of yourself. Be well. Big up yourself.
God bless.
Unity, strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity, strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the...
I gotta stop this for a minute. Someone has put in the chat room that change.org is asking for money. I have been on it many times. Ignore that, please. You sign it, and there's a red pen there where you can sign. Do not donate any money to change.org. Do not donate any money to change.org. They are not asking for any money. You go over to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and you donate over there. All you have to do is sign the Magnitsky Act. Just sign that. Do not donate any money at all. Do not donate any money at all to the change.org. You donate to the One Legal Jamaica Defense Foundation, all right? Thank you all very much. Have a good night, everyone. May God bless you, and may God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Good night.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.